Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody, to our latest live stream. We are going live with breaking news. There is currently a tornado that is on the ground near Henry, Illinois. No tornado warning yet, but we just saw it on live feed that there is currently a tornado on the ground near Henry. This is going to be moving to the north and east toward Magnolia and McNabb. One of the biggest things that we will need to watch for over the next several minutes is if this tornado is going to stay on the ground for a little while or if it's just a little brief stint, because over the last 30 to 45 seconds, there is a tornado on the ground. This is going to be just north of Lacan near Route 29. It's going to be located right in this area here. That's where our rotation is. A lot of rising motion with this storm, which is going to lead to the potential for a tornado down the road as well. We now do officially have a tornado warning on this. It says radar indicated, but I can tell you right now, I literally just saw this on the ground on live coverage. So again, this is a tornado on the ground. This is north of Peoria. It is west-southwest of Chicago. This storm is going to be moving toward Ottawa and as well as Peru over the next several minutes. You're going to need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Again, this is a confirmed tornado near Henry, Illinois that is currently on the ground, moving to the north and east toward Magnolia. This is the area right here where the rotation is. It's just to the east of 29, moving toward McNabb and as well as Magnolia. Tonica will be in the track of this in about 15 minutes or so be mindful of this storm. Peru, Illinois as well, Interstate 80, Ottawa, just to the west of the Streeter area. And long term, this storm will be moving toward the Chicago area. Obviously, what the impacts will be once this gets closer to Chicago is a huge question mark. We really don't know because it's so far out, but this storm could pose a threat long term of there being a threat for a tornado all the way through, potentially Chicago. This storm could be rotating by then still. So we'll have to watch this storm very closely. But again, this is a confirmed tornado as of about a minute ago that is located just around the Henry, Illinois area. Let's hop to the correlation coefficient and see if it's picking up any debris on radar. Doesn't seem as if it is right now, but again, the tornado itself will be located right here near Henry, Illinois. So again, if you're in this warning, seek shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. This could be a dangerous storm as it moves to the north and east, and I'm going to try to see if we have any live cams. So give me 1 second on that. By the way, if you have any reports or anything like that, feel free to leave those in the chat. But again, this is a confirmed tornado as of about 2 minutes ago now, but I'm going to see if we have any more evidence that it's still ongoing here. And by the way, this is confirmed via weather spotters. This is not confirmed via radar. So the difference being that somebody actually saw this on the ground. I'll keep you posted if it's still on the ground. As of right now, again, 2 minutes ago, that's when it was on the ground. It's right now located near Henry, Illinois, moving to the north and east. Magnolia and McNabb, Illinois, you need to be in your safe place in case this tornado does drop again, if it's not already right now on the ground. In addition to that, again, a lot of rising motion with this particular storm. We have a pretty favorable environment where there is a good amount of shear for this time of year, especially. Again, we're in early February. Midwest tornadoes are something we've never covered in February. I just want to throw that out there. So this is a very rare event that's happening. It does seem as if it is lifted for the time being, but again, it could drop at any time. So again, if you're in McNabb or Magnolia, Illinois, stay in your safe place. Here's a zoomed out look at what we have right now. We have multiple thunderstorms firing up near Peoria. There's a bit more moisture than forecasted in the environment, which is going to lead to a few more severe storms, most likely than forecasted. So we'll have to watch that potential as these storms move to the north and east. But it's a pretty small window when it comes to severe storms. The majority of these storms are going to be between now and about 7 o'clock or so. That'll be our main time frame to watch for any severe weather with these storms. It could go through 8, but I think most of these storms will be dying down by then. So again, very small period that we'll be watching for. By the way, there is another severe thunderstorm warning back up going into Wisconsin. This one particularly is not tornadic as of right now. The main one that we're going to be watching for, again, is this tornado warning back down south of Princeton near Peru, moving to the north and east. Also has a hail core, so there will be some hail with this. If there is still a tornado on the ground, it's going to be located right in here. And let's see if we have any other confirmation here as well. But again, this was confirmed as of about 2 to 3 minutes ago. Again, as we were going live, rapidly lowering base near Magnolia as of 3 minutes ago, which means that we have at least some low-level rotation developing. Yeah, there was some debris being lifted up. Even as of 2 minutes ago, there was still debris being lifted up. I will have photos on our Twitter page being retweeted, so if you want to check that out, that's at MaxVelocityWX. Again, this is near Lacan, Illinois, just off to the north of Lacan. It's near Henry. It's going to be moving through the Mount Palatine and McNabb area in addition to Magnolia. So if you're in any of those locations, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, I'm currently ciphering through various reports right now. This is in Putnam County, Illinois, by the way. Again, this is in north central Illinois. The Bible Network for retweeting my thing on Twitter. I just saw that. I literally searched up tornado on Twitter, and that's what came up. Thank you. Yeah, if there is still a tornado on the ground, it's going to be just west of Magnolia. We're going to go back to regular tornado warning, because there is no evidence that it is still actively on the ground, but again, it could drop again at any time. It was on the ground briefly. Again, it wasn't a super long, tornado by any means. It was probably on the ground for 30 seconds. But really the concern is that this storm in particular, it's quite discreet, and it's in a pretty favorable environment. So if it's able to get going again, we could see a tornado again, perhaps back up near Ottawa, or even further to the north and east as this storm continues to track that way. In addition to that, we have multiple supercells stretching from just south there of the Lacan area, all the way back through Havana. So it's a pretty large area that we're still watching for any development of an isolated tornado or two. But again, this is the one so far that we've had at least confirmed to this point, which again was just south of Peru near McNabb. And we do have reports of tree damage in the area as well. Yeah, if there's a tornado, I'm going to outline it for you, but it's going to be right in here near Henry, just to the northeast there of Henry, if there is still actively a tornado on the ground. All right, so this is actually back to confirmed. Weather spotters confirmed tornado. Again, I'm not sure if this is from our previous report from about 5 minutes ago, but regardless, stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is currently a confirmed tornado near Henry, Illinois, moving to the north and east. And trying to verify the velocities and correlation coefficient here. And I'm not seeing any clear to verification. This might be it here, though. This could be potentially the tornado right there. Again, if that is still on the ground, there is a pretty good amount of tree damage in the vicinity of where this potential tornado is still ongoing, right near 18. So there's a lot of tree damage in the area. Again, this is currently moving north and east. Stay in your safe place if you're McNabb, Mount Palatine, Standard, Florid, Walnut Grove, or Magnolia in central northern Illinois. Again, this was confirmed moments ago. We have a serious environment for this time of the year back up in the Midwest. It's definitely a bit of a surprise. Then again, this is back to the velocities. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, these are the winds going toward the radar. These are the winds going away from the radar. This would be the area of rotation that we're watching for, which is located as of 4:47 p.m., which was just a couple minutes ago, located over 18. The next radar scan will probably put this a bit further up here, closer to Magnolia. So a bit more of a zoomed in look. Magnolia, a bit more of a rural town here, 89 through McNabb in Illinois, and then back near Mount Palatine. That'll be the next area in the track this here in a few minutes. So again, if you're anywhere in this warning, stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. And this tornado warning has just been downgraded back to radar indicated. So it was briefly there confirmed, and now we're back to radar indicated rotation until some spotter sees it, or if there's any confirmed rotation there on radar. The fact that this is happening in winter is insane. Yes, I definitely agree. This is not something that happens hardly ever in Illinois during this time of the year. It just doesn't happen. We have another video of there being a... I'm trying to full screen this on my other monitor. We have video of at least some scud activity, perhaps another tornado trying to drop right now. Just southwest of McNabb. This was about 40 seconds ago. Not confirmed as of right now. And again, we also have hail, so if anybody's in the track of this, like Chicago, for example, back near Ottawa, I definitely recommend protecting your vehicle tonight in case the storm does continue to produce hail down the road. And this is not the only storm. We still have storms down here to the south, and none of these currently severe. The one that has the best chance of becoming severe in the short term would be the one near Peoria, and the other one just off to the west of this other tornadic supercell right now. So multiple storms that we're watching for right now across the board. We also have a severe storm back up in northwest Illinois, now crossing into southwest Wisconsin. That one in particular, not tornadic, but it is severe, with quarter-sized hail being the main concern. And here's the latest radar scan. Let's go to the velocities. And it looks like the rotation is dying out a little bit here. If there is a tornado still on the ground, it's going to be located right in here near McNabb. So we got a little hook here. Got inflow going to the storm has been quite strong, which is, again, a bit of a surprise here. But we have a pretty strong inflow still. So we'll be watching to see if that evolves at all into a potential tornado as this continues to move off to the north and east. Again, if you are anywhere here in central northern Illinois in this tornado warning, get to your safe place away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. At this given time, the tornado, again, is not on the ground visually. So for the time being, it is not on the ground. But again, it could drop at any time. Will the storm stay strong? Well, I mean, the proper word for it would be severe in this case. These storms in particular will stay strong to severe probably all the way through about 7:30 tonight. So we got another 2.5 hours of severe weather potential as these continue to move to the east. And this would obviously be probably the most concerning area at this point would be right in here with any tornadic activity. I do think the tornado risk will die down a bit as these storms get closer to Chicago, but I wouldn't, let your guard down. I'd at least make sure you're still have multiple ways to receive alerts and have a tornado action plan in place just in case one of these storms do stay tornadic through that point. But the majority of the storms back up in Wisconsin, I think these will be mostly hailstorms. I'd be surprised if we got a tornado up here. Check out the velocities real quick. Don't really have a great vantage point on either one of these, but maybe a little bit of rotation near Warren. But I'd say for the majority of these storms, they'll be mainly hailstorms. But the shear and also the higher dew points are mostly available back down here to the south, like the storm near McNabb right now. Let me go back down to the Lincoln radar. This is the better one. We'll have another radar scan here in a second. Again, the tornado warning is for McNabb and Magnolia in central northern Illinois. This storm is going to be moving toward, not really Peru, but moving toward Ottawa. So if you're in Peru, you're all right for the time being. This storm, excuse me, shouldn't be really going that far up to the north. This one's going more east-northeast right now. By the way, fun fact, there is snow on the ground right now, and people are storm chasing severe storms. It's kind of weird to think. I've seen some photos. There's literally snow still on the ground in some of these areas. Like, literally, in some of these severe thunderstorms, there is literally snow on the ground right now. Like, there's still at least, like, a little coating or dusting of snow on the ground, and it's, like, 60 degrees out here. It's really crazy. So, just a little update. The tornado that we had about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, that was confirmed. That was a brief tornado, just for reference. It did pick up a little debris briefly. It was probably an EF0 or something like that. Picking up mostly dust in the area, and we're in a bit more of a rural part of Illinois, so it's entirely possible it was just, again, dust. But with that being said, this storm obviously still something to watch for long term. Here's that confirmed report, by the way. Brief touchdown in an open field. Here's the exact location. It was near the Bills Batch Lake on Prairie Street and 26, which we can see all this with the Radar Omega mapping tool here. But notice again that right there was just actually near the Illinois River. So just north of Laconin, just on the south side there of Henry, 2 miles south of Henry in particular. That was in Marshall County where the tornado was confirmed. And now the storm is moving through McNabb. It is now passing there, going toward Tonka, and eventually going to be going toward Ottawa. The storm itself is weakening very quickly, but we have multiple storms behind it that we will have to watch. So these ones all have the chance to rotate down the road and perhaps produce a tornado threat. I mean, about 20 minutes ago, this storm was not rotating really at all. It was very minimal rotation, and then it just dropped a tornado just like that. So it's entirely possible down the road that we start to get a little bit more tornadic activity with a few of these other storms that are starting to fire up. A lot of these are beginning to strengthen. So we're noticing some hail back down near Canton, and also in the Peoria area just north of there, there's a storm that is also producing some small hail. That's at least some signs that we're beginning to see some intensification with these storms. And then back up here to the north again in southwest Wisconsin, these will be moving toward the Milwaukee area in a couple of hours, but right now the majority of these storms again not rotating. We actually do have a little bit of rotation though on the one just to the north of Lena. That is tornado possible up here. So the rotation itself is going to be located right in here. That's near Winslow. That'll be going toward Monroe. right here. We have another pocket of rotation. That's going to be crossing into Wisconsin. And that is not currently tornado warned, but there is a tornado possible label, which means that there is at least some broad rotation. The other storm also has a tornado possible label now. So the one near Warren, that's your rotation right there. That is now also on tornado possible. So we have two different storms up here in particular that have a chance to produce a tornado at some point here soon. So again, if you're anywhere near Argyle, back through Monroe, southeast of Darlington, west of Evansville, west of Janesville, this really cluster of storms will be something to watch for, as they do have a chance to produce a tornado. We actually have a bit of a hook trying to develop here. A little weird shape, but that would be the area to watch for a tornado. And then back up here near Warren, this will be also another spot to watch for. So two different areas of rotation. Again, neither of these are tornado warned, but they could go tornado warned at any time as they continue to move to the north and east. Tornado warning goes for another 18 minutes. This will probably be canceled. The one, again, that produced a tornado just to the southwest of Ottawa near Henry. This one now is weakening, and the rotation is definitely dying out on that storm. So that one will likely be let to, it'll probably be canceled here momentarily. We go back down to the Lincoln radar site, and for the time being, not really any other rotation with these other storms yet. Again, these will probably intensify more as we go further into the 5 o'clock hour, as they move closer to Ottawa, Morris, and eventually going toward the Chicago suburbs around 6 to 7 tonight. Potential tornado in Wisconsin in February. What is going on here? Again, this is a pretty rare event. This is, it's very interesting because we have a low pressure system back out to the west. You really can't see it on here, but the low pressure system is like right around here in southeast parts of Minnesota. And what's interesting about it is that we have all this moisture surging up from those atmospheric rivers that hit California. Tons of moisture coming out of the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf, and that's all rising up here into the Midwest. And the dew points are in like the mid 50s in some spots now, which is, again, just unheard of for this time of the year. And yeah, it's really crazy. Really weird event that we are witnessing right now. Also, there was a confirmed tornado at 4:42 p.m. northwest of Varna, which was this particular tornado. So, again, this tornado happened right around 4:42, which actually says it on here. But there was a few various storm chasers in that area that were on this storm. And again, the storm that was tornadic, not really tornadic anymore, is moving toward Ottawa. And that'll be going toward Dayton, Interstate 80. It's crossing over Interstate 39 as we speak. Really, I would say the next really the most imminent threat of a tornado now will be the storms back up near Monroe and Warren. These ones also could produce a tornado here soon. Definitely gonna be something to watch for. These are our quote-unquote northern storms here with this particular setup. Yeah, the shear was pretty impressive. We have a surprising amount of instability. Again, the instability it's not super high, but it's supportive enough for severe weather. And for those that are not familiar with instability, it's essentially like putting gasoline into a vehicle, but in this sense, it fuels severe storms. So again, just kind of a bit of surprise overall today. And again, this event's not done anytime soon. I mean, we still got another 2 hours here. New severe thunderstorm warning issued for the Peoria area, as well as Pekin near Canton. This is back through central Illinois. This one's not currently tornadic, by the way, but we will still need to watch this in case it does produce a tornado down the road. Tornado warning was just canceled, by the way, back up to the north. So the tornado warning back up there has now been canceled. But again, we will still have to watch for tornadoes here down the road as these storms continue to develop with the given shear in this environment. But again, the severe storm is located right here. It's not this, actually, even though this has some lightning. This is where we will have the potential for up to quarter-sized hail. So quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds are not a concern with this storm as of right now. But obviously that could change at any time as these storms continue to evolve. All right. Peoria, thank you. Peoria, right here. That's what it's pronounced as. If we get a tornado warning in Wisconsin, please let it be in an area that I can actually pronounce names, because It's just Wisconsin in general. The names in Wisconsin are just so hard to pronounce. There's a lot of them that are serious tongue twisters. Again, these are the two areas of rotation that we're watching back up near Monroe, south of Argyle. These are moving to the north and east. These are on track to go toward Evansville, in addition to the Stoughton area. Janesville will have to be on alert as well. Here's the loop here. Notice all the storms moving northeast, but we could always get a storm that develops perhaps a little bit further east of this cluster, and that could also go towards Janesville. So if you're back over near Janesville, Wisconsin, just stay alert, stay weather aware. You're not too far away from these storms. Thank you, Coneth. Appreciate it. By the way, if you have any storm reports, photos, videos, you can feel free to tweet me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX, and you might get featured on the live stream. If you have any photos or videos, Twitter page is at MaxVelocityWX. And by the way, today's live stream is brought to you by Radar Omega. That is what we're currently using right now. You can use, there's tons of features in this app, including the weather radar, satellite imagery, obviously watches and warnings. You can do a ton of customization on here. In addition, there's multiple storm chasers that you can literally watch the live feed of as these storms evolve. You can check it out, top link in the description below. It's on iOS and Android. It is a phenomenal app. I cannot recommend it enough. We use it on literally every live stream. So make sure to check it out. And there's also computer models, by the way. It has everything. It's an all-in-one weather app. Make sure to check it out. Top link in the description below. I do appreciate Radar Omega for sponsoring today's live stream. Here's the live cam, by the way, back over in Brooklyn, Wisconsin. This is just to the east of the two tornado possible storms. So these two in particular, we will need to watch as they continue to evolve. Again, these are going to be moving into this vicinity. So we do have a live cam here that if anything ends up developing, we'll definitely have a pretty good view on it here. And a friendly reminder, if you're just tuning in, the tornado warning has been canceled for Putnam County. That's back over in central northern Illinois. Again, this was a confirmed tornado at 4:42 p.m., so about 20 minutes ago. That storm has weakened very quickly, so no imminent tornado threat with that storm anymore. But obviously, will still be something to watch for as they continue to move to the north and east. We also have another storm just west of Henry. Not currently tornadic, but it is going to be something to watch for. It's another storm that's trying to develop. It's actually about to go over Henry. So another thunderstorm moving through there. This was, again, the storm that produced a tornado back near Henry. It is officially weakening. There's really not much left to it. A little bit of lightning, but it's a very quickly weakening storm. So the next round that we'll need to watch for is right in here. So the storms from Peoria all the way back through Henry. These will be the storms to watch for development down the road if you are in central or northern Illinois or back through northeast Illinois. Those will be the areas to watch for with that particular band of storms that are developing. Yeah, we still have some rotation back up near Monroe. These storms are going to have to be watched very closely, because we do have growing rotation on both of these storms. And we're pretty far away from a radar site, so we have kind of limited resolution. But these are the two areas with rotation. There's a tornado warning. But these are the areas that we'll have to watch for over the next little while. So brand new tornado warning now for Monroe, Clarno, Broadhead, Albany, and Monticello. Seek shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. This is for Greene County, Wisconsin until 5:30 Central Time. Again, this is Greene County, Wisconsin till 5:30 Central Time. Again, this is radar indicated rotation. Seek shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you are in this warning. Again, this is near Monroe, moving to the northeast. Janesville, not in the direct path of this, but this storm has a serious inflow. Let's go to, we'll go to the correlation coefficient as well, but this has a pretty strong inflow, and also the hook right here. This is a pretty dynamic looking storm here for southern Wisconsin. And as of right now, again, not confirmed on the ground, but this definitely has a shot at producing a tornado. I'm going to see if we have any live cams on this one. I don't know if we will, but we will find it out. Again, this currently includes the Monroe area. Again, if you are included in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. Yeah, we don't have any direct cameras in this area. Yeah, this is just off to the north of Clarno. The rotation, by the way, is pretty strong. This is the rotation right here. We also have another pocket of rotation back near the Browntown area. That also could produce a tornado down the road. So 2 different storms right now. I would say that this one, though, that we're on with the tornado warning is by far way more impressive. Again, we have a hook echo right here. Inflow going to the storm. Tornado would be located right there if we have a tornado on the ground. So again, stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible if you're included in this warning. All right, we do have Connor Croft on a storm. I believe it's this one. Let's go to, we'll put Connor on here as well. Bottom right of your screen. I don't know if it's going to work because it's really behind. I have to redo this. Nice, we get an ad. A moment, please. All right, there we go. Bottom right of your screen, that's Connor right now on the storm here in northern Illinois. Again, this is currently has the chance to produce a tornado. So again, stay in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. And this is in southwest Wisconsin. If you're just tuning in, this is near Monroe, going toward Broadhead and Albany. Does anybody know the exact location of Connor? Just let me know. Try to figure it out. New tornado warning for those in Browntown. So the other tornado, or the other storm that was rotating, is now tornado warned. If you're in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is near Monroe, Browntown, going toward Monticello, and as well as the New Glarus area. Again, stay in your safe place away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you're in this tornado warning. Yes, this is February, if you were wondering what month it was. This is, again, unheard of for this time of the year. All right, let's go back to the velocities again. And if there's a tornado on the ground, it's going to be located right here over Monroe. Other pocket rotation is over Browntown. And again, these 2 storms are both moving to the north and east. We don't have any confirmation of either one of these being on the ground right now, but they could drop at any time as they continue to move to the north and east. So again, stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible if you're included in this warning. And these are both in southwest Wisconsin if you're just tuning in. Monticello? Is that actually what it is? Used to saying Monticello. That's something in Virginia. Yeah, we currently have 2 tornado warnings ongoing, both of them in southwest Wisconsin. And just a quick update, currently in central Illinois, neither of these storms are currently tornadic or imminent to become tornadic. So good news for the time being. Let's go back to these 2 storms here. I don't know if we have a better radar site. I'm going to try to figure it out. Right now, it seems like the best one is going to be down here. We're in between 2 radar sites. We have a bit of a radar hole here. Again, near Monroe is the area that there is currently some strong rotation. And again, this could drop a tornado at any time. That's located right here, just on the south side of Monroe. And we also have another strong pocket of rotation back near Browntown. That's also moving northeast. Let me zoom out a little bit. So this is the long-term track of things. This is your rotation, the 2 spots there. Areas in the track of it, the main locations will be Stoughton as well as back through Evansville. Janesville is not in the direct path of this particular storm. Madison, if you're back up in Madison, Wisconsin, be mindful of this storm. It will probably stay to your south and east, but I would still be mindful because this could still go close to you. The higher likelihood of it being on the southeast side. If it were to go, again, up that direction. Thanks, Chor. Appreciate it. Stoughton. Is that not what I said? The base is huge. Yeah, I mean, you even on radar you can see it. I mean, it's a pretty large area of rotation. Let's go back to the velocities here. Or reflectivity, excuse me. Rotation does seem to be strengthening here. Next correlation coefficient update's going to come in here in a second. We'll see if there's anything on the ground here or not. This thing has a massive base. When you talk about a large base, this thing has a huge base. There's a ton of lightning as well. Yeah, this storm is pretty nuts. They could merge. Yeah, I mean, they have a chance down the road. Right now, they're pretty split apart. Let's go to the correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient hasn't updated, but again, the rotation is awfully strong right now near near Monroe, excuse me. Again, Monroe, Wisconsin is where this is located. The rotation is very strong, and again, this could produce a tornado at any time. I'm seeing if we have any reports on this particular storm right now. By the way, if you have any reports or videos, feel free to leave those in the chat. Or sorry, if you have any photos or videos, tweet me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. If you have any reports, feel free to leave those in the chat. Still looking to see if we have any confirmation on this right now. Next correlation coefficient scan. Has it come in yet? Not yet. Yeah, if there's a tornado on the ground, it's going to be on the east side here of Monroe. And then it's now going to be north. It's east-northeast now, so just north of 11. And then back over near Browntown, we'll check out that storm as well here in a moment. So nothing confirmed as of right now. The correlation coefficient still not confirming anything. But the rotation, again, still quite strong. Apparently, by the way, this is crazy, okay? This is the only time in history where there's been tornado warnings issued, at least since 1986. Tornado warnings have been issued in Wisconsin in February. Now, that is literally crazy. Yeah, we got a pretty large hail core developing here, too. This is probably at least around $half to ping pong ball sized hail here in the dead center of it. And again, that's going to be located just on the North Sea side of Monroe. That's going to be going toward Albany. This is a pretty vicious looking storm, though, via photos I'm seeing on Twitter right now. And again, I'm retweeting a pretty good amount of those. But this has a pretty serious base. Nothing in terms of a really definitive lowering at this point. But definitely has a lot of hail, that's for sure. This is definitely a hailstorm. Let's go back down here to the south real quick. Just a quick update if you're in Illinois. Storm is about to move through Peoria here in a moment. No rotation on this storm right now, so not an imminent concern. The other storms here not currently tornadic either. So these are, again, the main storms that we're watching that have a chance to produce a tornado. Again, the rotation is going to be located just off to the north of Browntown, and our other area of rotation is on the east and east-northeast side of Monroe. These storms are both lifting to the north and north-northeast. Oh, we have a live cam up here. Let's check this out. There we go. This is live. This is just north of the storm. This is back up near Brooklyn. That in the background is part of this storm. Not sure what direction this is looking. I believe it's looking south. Oh, there you go. Lightning right across the screen there. So again, this is back up near Brooklyn, Wisconsin. We'll be watching that in the background there. But I'm pretty sure this is looking right at the storms. A little bit more flashes on the right side of the screen as well. Two tornadoes in Wisconsin. This is not normal. Yeah, two tornado warnings. I mean, we don't have any confirmation on either one yet, but Regardless, again, 2 tornado warnings in February. We've never had a tornado warning issued in February in Wisconsin. So, again, this is setting new heights. And apparently, according to this, the last time we've had any tornado warnings in Wisconsin during the winter, specifically during meteorological winter, so December, January, or February, was 2008. There was 4 tornado warnings. That's the only other time in history that there's been any tornado warnings in Wisconsin, or at least in southern Wisconsin. So the Milwaukee coverage area for their National Weather Service, which, again, just crazy to think is a pretty rare sort of phenomenon. New severe thunderstorm warning issued for Browntown, Monroe, many other areas outside of that. That is for quarter-sized hail. The wind threat, not a concern right now. Again, rotation still seemingly, it's there, especially near Monroe, but it hasn't yet to produce. And the other problem that we have right now is that we are pretty far away from radar sites, so it's definitely hard to get a good grasp on what's happening here on radar. But correlation coefficient has not confirmed anything to this point, so we've yet to have a confirmed tornado with these storms. And by the way, there is still snow on the ground here. I'm not kidding. There is literally snow on the ground where these 2 tornado warnings are. It's not much, but there is like a dusting to like about a half an inch, like a slushy half an inch up on some of like the elevated surfaces. So just a fun fact here when it comes to what we're looking at here. We have snow on the ground and 2 tornado warnings at the same time up here in southwest Wisconsin. Just something you just don't hear about. It's very weird. All right, here's the latest radar scan. This storm in particular beginning to a bit of a weakening trend. Much more definitive hail core about 2 to 3 minutes, or about 5 minutes ago or so. It's weakening pretty quickly here. And then back over here, this is the other storm just west of Monroe. It's about to actually cross into Monroe. Both of these storms, again, rotating. Here's the pocket of rotation near 59, and then the other one back over on the west side there of Monroe. Again, both of these storms right now moving to the north and east. So again, if you are in the north side there of Monroe, back near the Monticello area, and as well as Albany, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this is currently in southwest Wisconsin. Chicago won't be getting hit until closer to about an hour and a half from now. All right, let's go back to the zoomed out radar. We'll go back to this radar site here. And these are the 2 storms right now. Area of rotation back northeast of Monroe. It's going to be right up in this pocket here. And then our other one would be right off to the north of Monroe. So again, both of these areas of rotation are going to cross over each other probably pretty soon. I would honestly expect that this storm out in front will probably weaken, and they might merge even into the same storm. Somebody actually mentioned that about 10 minutes ago. They might merge. They do have a chance to merge. This storm in particular might be becoming outflow driven a little bit too, which could actually limit the tornado risk on that one. Yeah, we got a shelf cloud on this storm in particular. Back on the backside, just north of Monroe. We do have an update from the Milwaukee National Weather Service on these 2 storms. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on what they said on the 2 storms here. So the main area that we're looking at right here, I'm going to give you an update on that one. So severe storms ongoing along the Wisconsin and Illinois border, moving northeast at 55 to 60 miles per hour. They'll approach the Madison metro area within the next 60 to 90 minutes. If current speed track is maintained, large hail spin-up tornadoes are the main hazard. Plan now for strong severe storms during the evening commute. So if you're anywhere back up near the Stoughton area, Madison, suburbs there, be mindful of these storms. I honestly would say that Madison will probably get missed by them, honestly. I think that these will probably go a little bit more to the east. We do have a bit more of an outflow-driven area of storms here near Monroe, it looks like, trying to develop right now. So that'll be something to watch as that evolves, and that could definitely change the course of where they're going, because right now they're trying to go toward Madison, but that track I don't think will last here. Getting a report of lots of hail in Peoria, Illinois. Yeah, there's currently a pretty decent hailstorm here moving through. Quarter-sized hail being a possibility back down near Peoria. Yeah, there's a lot of hail reports coming in there. If you know what the size is, feel free to let me know in the chat. Again, all the other storms right now, currently non-severe. That's the only one right now. We'll still be watching to see if any of these evolve, but for the time being, all those storms are currently non-severe. And by the way, beautiful sunset at the bottom right of your screen. I'm not entirely sure where Connor is. If anybody knows, let me know in the chat. But beautiful sunset there. I believe he's in northern Illinois. Nothing in Iowa. That's severe. All right, latest radar scan. Yeah, and rotation's going to be located right here, just off to the southwest of Albany, Wisconsin. This is moving north and east. This storm still has rotation, but it's going to be moving more off toward Albany and eventually going toward Evansville and Union. And here's that camera, by the way. Here's the storms. This is, again, a live cam back up near Albany. Wow, that was a serious flash of lightning. Jeez. These storms will hit Michigan, but they're not going to be severe by that point. It's a very small window for these storms to be severe. Like, it's a very small window. I mean, we're talking between now and perhaps another hour and a half to 2 hours. It's not going to be a super long event. And we're looking into the storm right now. This is a storm that is currently tornado warned. A little bit off topic, but not really. EF1 tornado was confirmed in Grover Beach over in California. That's the first tornado to hit that county in 20 years. Tornadoes are very rare in California, so. And a lot of lightning right now with this particular storm. And again, this is the one that is currently tornadic, and we will go back to that live cam once it gets closer to see if we have any sort of rotation. So we'll have a pretty good view with that one. That's like literally in the path of the storm. Yeah, we got multiple storms right now back down in central Illinois. Again, none of them tornadic. The one near Peoria producing some quarter-sized hail. And this right here is what we're watching for the main tornado risk right now. There's also a bit of rotation back off to the north of Monroe, but it's a little bit weaker. Those are the two main pockets right now. Again, this is in southwest Wisconsin if you're just tuning in. No problem, River. Area of rotation currently about 4 miles away from Albany, but you should not wait. You should get in your safe place now. Do not wait. No reason to wait in case it does drop. Here's the latest radar scan. It's about 2.5 miles from the downtown area there of Albany. Here's the live view again, just north of this storm. We're not really going to see any sort of tornadic activity here. Wow, that is some serious bright lightning. But right here, I mean, there's really not a whole lot you're going to see from the back, like from the north side of the storm. We'll definitely see a lot of lightning. There's always a chance we see something on the back side of the storm too. But yeah, there's a lot of lightning with this storm. A lot of frequent lightning there. And pocket rotations right here. It's about to be moving through Albany. Eventually going to go towards Evansville and Union. Here's a view of that storm and the reflectivity. That's the hook right here. Got an inflow going to the storm. Tornado usually likes to sit right about there. So again, it's just west of Albany. And again, this is currently moving off to the northeast, which the storms that are behind it are more outflow driven at this point. So they are probably going to merge. And that could definitely limit the long-term tornado risk with this storm. Might be more short-term. The thing that stands out to me with the storm the most right now is all the lightning. There's a ton of it. Still nothing definitive here on the correlation coefficient for the time being. And not confirmed as of right now. Again, the rotation is intensifying just a little bit. We've had a little uptick in the rotation in the latest radar scans on the west side there of Albany. Pretty rural area up until Evansville. So for the next 5-10 minutes, there'll be a bit of rural area here through Albany. Then Magnolia, Evansville, and Union in southwest Wisconsin will be in the track of this here pretty soon. The live cam perhaps just went out because it's not showing anymore. And by the way, if you have any photos or videos, you can feel free to tweet those to us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. But the rotation right now is just to the west of Albany, moving to the north and east. Hail in Peru, Illinois. Thank you for the report. West Indiana should be all right. I don't think you'll see much, to be honest. Here's the latest radar scan. Still have rotation there. About to enter into Albany. Nothing confirmed via the correlation coefficient, but there's definitely still some rotation there. In addition to that, we definitely have a lot of hail here near Albany. In addition, near the Monticello area, pretty good amount of hail falling there as well. These are all capable of up to $half sized hail right now as they continue to track to the east and northeast. So if you're in Evansville, Union, Magnolia, Spring Valley, Footville, Janesville, make sure you are protecting your vehicle because there is definitely a chance that this does drop some hail in your location, perhaps damaging vehicles. Again, your rotation is going to be right there. Let's go back to the reflectivity here. And we're currently in southwest Wisconsin, for reference. By the way, on Friday, when we were doing the tornado warning over in Texas, the Haskell tornado, that was an EF2 tornado. That was confirmed yesterday. Those that were tuning into that live stream. Indiana will not really see much. I don't expect much there. Unless you're in like far northwestern Indiana, you might get a couple of storms. New severe thunderstorm warning was just issued. This does include areas like Evansville, Fitchburg, McFarland, Stoughton, back through Interstate 3990. This is all for the potential for damaging, or not really damaging winds, but gusty winds in addition to quarter-sized hail. Tornado possible labels on this, which probably means we're going to get the 2 tornado warnings that are ongoing right now replaced by this severe thunderstorm warning, but we will see. If that rotation back over near Albany starts to impress a bit more, then we'll probably have a new warning on that one. And here's that live cam right now, just off to the north of the storm. And again, the sun is setting here, but that is the storm that is currently tornadic right here in southwest Wisconsin. This is in Brooklyn, Wisconsin right now. This is not a replay, this is live. If you're right along the Great Lakes, like Milwaukee, for example, the tornado risk, honestly, is pretty low overall. It's definitely on the lower side. It's lower than what it would be inland. I'll just say that. There is a pretty good amount of lightning. Again, we're getting about a flash of lightning every 2 to 3 seconds. Over here in southwest Wisconsin. Again, this is a live cam view. Left side of your screen over here, you can see a little bit of like the clearing behind it. That's just before the storm is about to pass through. And this is the actual storm itself. But we'll continue to watch this area. But again, this is the area of rotation, which looks like that rotation is definitely weakening right now. This is back to a severe thunderstorm warning. So we are no longer on a tornado warning. We do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings still ongoing. This is still a tornado possible storm, which does mean it could drop a tornado down the road. New severe thunderstorm warning in Illinois. That's back near Peoria. This is for quarter-sized hail. Not really a wind threat out of that one. And looking across the board, I'm not seeing really any rotation with any of these storms, which is pretty good for the time being. We'll still have to watch for that tornado risk as these move toward the Chicago suburbs and even through parts of central and eastern Illinois. So we're down to 2 severe thunderstorm warnings for the time being. But again, that right there is the pocket of rotation. Just to the south there of our live cam back up in Brooklyn. And this is live on the north side of this severe storm. That is a lot of lightning. Very bright lightning right now. Guys, I cannot pull up Vince. I cannot. But it looks like there is a funnel cloud that's developing. So there is a funnel cloud developing with this storm. We actually could get a tornado warning with this. Yeah, we currently have a funnel cloud developing in southwest Wisconsin. If you know anybody near Albany, definitely give them a call or text. There is currently a funnel cloud developing. There we go. There's a tornado warning. Yeah, there is a funnel cloud right now developing on this storm. This is near Albany. Stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. This is moving to the north and east right now. So this is near Albany, Magnolia, Evansville, Union, Dunkirk, as well as Stoughton. Those areas, and you need to make sure you're seeking shelter, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. Again, this is currently producing a potential for a tornado, but there is a funnel cloud on this. It's actually going to be with the storm back over just west of Albany. That is where this funnel cloud actively is. Again, this is currently rotating. There is a funnel cloud. Again, this could drop at any time, but we have a funnel cloud confirmed on this storm. It's moving again to the north and east toward Evansville. Again, southwest Wisconsin. Again, this could drop a tornado at any time. Stay in your safe place, away from windows, on the lowest floor possible. It might go on the ground here shortly. Again, if you're in this area in your Evansville, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. It looks like it is picking up debris. Can't confirm it yet, but again, this is still a funnel cloud right now, moving toward Evansville. We do have a live cam right here. We're going to see if it pulls back up. It might have gone out from the lightning. There's also a ton of hail falling with this storm. We right now have pretty large hail right now developing with this storm. It's right now in the ballpark of $quarter to $half sized hail. A lot of hail right now in this hail core. All that pink representing hail. Again, this is trying to drop a tornado right now. A very clean funnel cloud. If you're near Albany in Illinois. And reportedly, we're getting reports of power flashes. Again, if you're in this area, seek shelter away from windows on the lowest floor possible. It's confirmed touchdown in Albany? Okay. I figured so much. This thing, it's a very clean looking funnel cloud. Trying to get the velocities low. Let me go down to the other site here. It's getting to the point where we are pretty much at almost moonlight, where there's really hardly anything that you can see because it's just so dark. So this is getting a bit more concerning since we're now after sunset. But again, there is currently some confirmation that there is a tornado near Albany. At the bare minimum, we have a funnel cloud, but there is a very high likelihood that there will be a tornado, or there already has been one, here near the Albany area in Wisconsin. Again, this will be moving toward areas near McFarland. It'll eventually be going, or just south McFarland, it'll be going toward Evansville, Fulton, and as well as Milton and Janesville. You need to be on alert if you're at that direction. Again, this storm right now moving out to the east toward Evansville. The tornado would be located right in here, by the way. It's going to be literally right there on that little hook. It's little bit hard to see from the naked eye, but you can definitely see a little hook developing there. That's what we're looking at, where the tornado is. That'll be moving through Albany, Magnolia, and Evansville, Wisconsin over the next 5 to 6 minutes. And this is now confirmed officially. This is officially the first ever tornado in February in Wisconsin. Fun fact, again, crazy to think. But this is now our first ever confirmed tornado in the month of February in Wisconsin. And this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. It's back near Albany. The tornado itself will be now over Albany. So if this tornado is still actively on the ground, it's going to be over Albany, moving to the northeast. Don't have really a great view again on the correlation coefficient and the velocities, purely due to the fact we are just so far away from this radar site. The tornado is still on the ground. It's going to be now on the northeast side or downtown area there of Albany. And stay away from windows, lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building if you're anywhere near Albany or Evansville. And apparently, yeah, so Vince Walty's on the storm. I know a lot of you guys are talking about it. Again, I can't show his stream, just for the record, because, again, I do not have licensing from him. I used to, but I don't right now. But him in particular, this is apparently in his vicinity of his house, so I hope everything's all right there. I mean, again, this tornado has been producing power flashes already, which is probably why the live cam back up here, north of Albany, is out. Because that's a cyclone port on radar Omega. And so with that being said, this tornado being on the ground, it's going to knock out power for sure. And there have been multiple reports of power flashes in the area. Yeah, if you're currently in Evansville, Wisconsin, or Union, you need to get to your safe place immediately. This could still be on the ground, and as it moves to the north and east, it could produce more damage. And again, already has knocked out power in many areas. So hopefully those in this area have that alert system in some way, even with power being out. But there is a ton of hail falling with this storm. I can't stress that enough. If you're up here in southern Wisconsin, protect your vehicle, please. There's a ton of hail falling. This is almost like snow in a way, like how much it's covering the roadways. There is a ton of hail falling right now on the ground across parts of southern Wisconsin. And with this particular band of storms, so again, the one near Albany, back near Evansville. And this is an observed tornado on the ground. It's near Albany, moving to the north and east. Evansville, Union, Magnolia, Dunkirk, you need to be in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Interior room of your home or building. I'm going to zoom back out again, and I'm going to do that entirely here. So this is, again, a bit more perspective. If you're new to Wisconsin, don't know where we are, this is where we're at right now. That's where the tornado is. This is, again, regional view of Madison back through Milwaukee. And Milwaukee's not currently in a concerning place for this particular storm, but it will be something to monitor down the road. Yeah, this again, weather spotters confirmed this tornado. That's the official report as of about 5 minutes ago. Next radar scan will come in here in a second. Presumably this tornado, if it's still on the ground, it's probably going to be right up in here somewhere, just to the west there of Magnolia. It's going to be in between Albany and Magnolia. There is a ton of lightning. This is still actively with a funnel cloud at the bare minimum, but there might still be a tornado on the ground. So again, there is still a rope shape dropping from the sky right now on this storm. Also, here's the confirmation as of 5:37 p.m. It's on the left side of your screen there. So again, a couple miles to the northwest of Albany. Again, reports of a tornado on the ground tracking northeast on the north side of Albany as of 5:37 p.m. That was 3 minutes ago. So there's still a confirmation of a tornado on the ground even as 3 minutes ago, which we learned this about 7 or 8 minutes ago. Albany, thank you. There's now reportedly a rope tornado on the ground in the Albany area. Sorry, I keep saying Albany. Albany area of southwest Wisconsin. So this is still on the ground. with plenty of hail falling. So again, if you're in the Albany area, Magnolia, Evansville, Union, get to your safe place immediately. This is still a confirmed tornado as we speak. This has been on the ground probably for approximately 5 minutes, if it's been on the ground that entire time. This has been ongoing for 5 to 6 minutes now. This also includes Brooklyn, Cooksville, and Oregon, and as well as Dayton in southwest Wisconsin. And again, this is just south of Madison for perspective. Not getting any signatures here on the correlation coefficient, by the way, but that doesn't mean something isn't on the ground. It's entirely possible that we still have something ongoing here. Again, from the recent reports, it's presumably still on the ground. But look at this huge hail core. Again, if there's a tornado, it's going to be back down in here. But this huge hail core here that we're looking at near Albany, this is literally all in the ballpark of quarter to ping pong ball sized hail. And it's a high quantity of it as well. There is a ton of hail falling with this storm. And as this continues to move through Evansville, Magnolia, and Fulton, it's going to continue to drop some pretty significant hail. So again, if you're anywhere in these areas, protect your vehicle. Obviously, if you're in the tornado warning, stay in your safe place. Don't go outside. But if you're out in front of this storm, you should definitely get to that point where you are protecting your vehicle, putting it into a garage, putting, couch cushions that you're not using over it, and all that sort of stuff. The live cam is back up here, by the way. It just came back up. Not probably going to see much here, but this is now the backside of this tornadic storm. Tons of lightning, and you can see it there. I mean, there's just a ton of lightning with this particular storm. And you can see the daylight behind it. So the sun actually hasn't set yet, technically, but it looked like it did with the storm. Back behind it, though, you can see all the sun shining through the clouds. That's the calm after the storm. And reports of tornado sirens right now in the Janesville area. Which is pretty much a given. I can almost assure you that you've probably never seen or heard, tornado sirens in the month of February, unless it's a test. It's, again, just something you don't hear in this time of the year. And again, this is our first confirmed tornado in history in February for Wisconsin. Again, very rare event that's occurring here across the Midwest. Quick update for those in Illinois. Again, we'll be talking about this more if any storms do strengthen here, but a couple storms right now. One that's east of Peoria is severe with quarter-sized hail. Little bunch of storms back southwest of Chicago. Those will need to be watched for in case they begin to rotate, but for the time being, they are not. I wouldn't be surprised. So we have a couple things happening here. Again, there is still potential for a tornado with this area back near Magnolia. There is a little bit of a hook back here. We'll have to watch this area to see if it develops into anything. But the main concern right now is back right here. That's where we've had a confirmed tornado at this point. That's just off to the northwest there, Magnolia. Again, stay in your safe place, away from windows on the lowest floor possible if you're in this tornado warning. As this continues to roll to the east. There's a pretty good view of the storm, by the way, at the bottom right of your screen from a distance. Here's that view again on the other live cam. So again, this is the back side of the thunderstorms. Unfortunately, it went down right in the middle of those thunderstorms, but that's on the back side there, back up west of Evansville. And as of right now, no correlation coefficient drop on this storm. Again, we've had none at this point, but we have had confirmation of power flashes and a tornado multiple times. So it's entirely possible we have a tornado happening still with, without having that sort of confirmation with radar. Yeah, tornado sirens are going off in the Janesville area. Thank you, Dale. Yeah, we have the Erie tornado sirens going off in the Janesville area. More than likely because of the severe storm, unless you are on the very far western side over here somewhere in that tornado warning. 2% always verifies. Yeah, I swear it always does. Hardly never does. By the way, if you have any photos or videos, feel free to tweet us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Link to that is in the description below as well. And nothing on the correlation coefficient for the time being. Hail core right now as of 5:41, which is 5 minutes ago, but the next radar scan's coming in here shortly. That hail core is moving through Evansville now, so you can see how much it's just raced off to the east. We'll check out the velocities as well, which looks like we still have a little bit of rotation, perhaps on the leading edge of this. But a lot of hail in here right now near Unionville and Evansville. That'll be moving toward Fulton, eventually going toward Albion. And then we'll also have to watch on the backside of the storm, back over near Albany, for the potential for maybe a redevelopment of rotation, because there is definitely a little hook developing there. I'm not seeing any clear definitive rotation, but I wouldn't rule out that it tries to produce something down the road. Looks like we have a tornado on the ground right now, right here near Evansville. This looks to be radar confirmed here. Perhaps. It's close to it. It's very tight rotation at the bare minimum. We have a little CC drop right there. That could be it if there is a tornado, but that right there would be a tornado just on the east side of Evansville. So again, if you're in this area, stay in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. But this could still be producing a tornado. Hail is literally covering the roadways, by the way, in this area. So hail is literally covering the roadways. With all the hail that's falling. Yeah, we got a tornado on the ground right here. This is, again, radar confirmed near Evansville. Yeah, if you're in this area, stay in your safe place. That is a radar-confirmed tornado. We'll have another radar scan hopefully in a few minutes. But yeah, that right there is... it's going to be embedded in... It's likely rain-wrapped, actually. It's really on the... It's pretty close to being rain-wrapped. That's going to be that's already passed through Evansville. It's going to be going toward Fulton, and then eventually going toward the Albion area near Interstate 39 and 90. That Evansville storm is throwing down some hail. Yeah, this thing is dropping a load of hail. Like, a lot. Like, I can't stress it enough. If you're anywhere out in front of these storms in, like, southeast Wisconsin, protect your vehicles tonight. Protect plants, because there could be some pretty nasty hail as this continues to move to the east. All right, here's the latest radar scan. That looks to still be a pretty... Let's check out the correlation coefficient. This tornado could be growing. We're going to check it out here in a second. Again, tornado is on the ground east of Evansville. Stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're in this warning. I'm retweeting photos on Twitter, by the way, of this tornado. That's at MaxVelocityWX on Twitter. There are multiple photos of this. We got a possible strong tornado right now. Guys, you gotta seek shelter if you're in this warning. This is a extremely dangerous tornado right now. This is extremely rare. We got a PDS tornado right now going east on this storm. This is a strong tornado. Yeah, if you're in this warning, seek shelter immediately. The tornado is just west of Fulton. If anybody knows, if you know anybody in this area, give them a call or text. This is serious. We got a large tornado right now east of Evansville. It's right in that area. It's going toward Fulton, Edgerton, Albion, eventually going toward Interstate 39 and 90. It'll stay off the north side of Janesville, but it's going to be going toward Fort Atkinson, Jefferson, Oakland, and I will not be able to pronounce that name, but that area as well. Going toward 26 and Interstate 3990. Again, this is a serious situation. We have a large tornado in progress. The correlation coefficient hasn't updated yet, but this is a large tornado in progress. Moving east toward Fulton. It is strong, dangerous tornado. That's it right there. Again, this is a PDS tornado moving to the north and east. Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek shelter away from windows and lowest floor possible. Base cam looks a little bit high. But again, this is currently just to the east of Evansville. Large, strong tornado. This is extremely dangerous. I'm hoping the correlation coefficient updates here. It's not updating. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at that. That's your tornado right there. This is a lot of debris being lifted up into the atmosphere near Cooksville. That's south of Haynerville, going toward Albion and Edgerton, near Interstate 39 and 90. That is, again, a large and strong tornado that's in progress in South Wisconsin, moving east. That is a pretty serious area of debris, especially for February. The debris field itself is about 1,200 yards wide on radar. That rotation is going to be right there near the Fulton area. This is still a tornado. This is, again, confirmed tornado, strong and large. If you know anybody in this area, give them a call or text immediately. Again, this isn't going to be staying just to the north there of Janesville. Very dangerous situation right now in progress, going toward Albion, Oakland, Jefferson, and Fort Atkinson. This right here is, again, a PDS tornado. This is a pretty large correlation coefficient drop, which means there's a lot of debris being lifted up into the atmosphere back west of Fulton. This is unbelievable. There's literally no other way to put it. Let's go back to the correlation coefficient here. Again, that is your tornado right there. In case it wasn't already clear, that right there is your tornado. That is, again, debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. Fort Atkinson and Jefferson, get to your safe place. Edgerton, Fulton, Albion, you need to be in your safe place immediately, including Dunkirk, Wisconsin. Interstate 3990, if you know anybody traveling along that roadway, give them a call or text. Make sure that they are aware of this, because this tornado is coming right toward that area. And if you're anywhere along that interstate there, you should, stay away from this area between Milton back through about McFarland. That's the concerning area right now with this large and strong tornado. Next radar scan should be coming in here in a second. By the way, this is a rain-wrapped tornado. It's pretty close to being rain-wrapped. I've seen a couple photos, but it's pretty close to rain-wrapped, so don't try to look for this tornado. Just trust me, get to your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Yeah, this is an extremely dangerous situation moving east. Or particularly dangerous situation. They've used both phrasings here from the local National Weather Service. That, again, is debris being lifted up into the atmosphere as of 5:51. New radar scan will hopefully come in at any time. It should be coming in here shortly. Any camera. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to try to find one. There should be some in this area. Again, if you're in this tornado warning, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. And this is a dangerous situation that's evolving. This is a strong and potentially large tornado right now, moving to the north and east. Hoping that next radar scan comes in here shortly. The tornado itself is going to be located over Edgerton, at any time. New severe thunderstorm warning for Janesville, by the way. That's not tornadic. It's apparently a wedge tornado. Right now, moving to the north and east. Here's the latest radar. This is the latest velocity scan. As of 5:54, the tornado itself is going to be located there near Fulton. So it's essentially over top of Fulton right now where the tornado is located. This is going to be crossing over I-39 and 90 at any moment, in about 4 minutes or so. And that is very dangerous because we are at rush hour. So again, if you know anybody along this route, if they take the route frequently, definitely make sure that you are giving them a call or text. Make sure that they are in their safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible, or if they're driving or whatever, make sure they're avoiding this area because again, this is a large and potentially pretty strong tornado right now, moving off to the east-northeast. Very dangerous storm in progress. Unfortunately, the correlation coefficient is not updating right now. Let's go back to velocities. This is, again, what we have right now. The tornado itself in the next scan, or like as we speak right now, it's going to be located closer to here now. So it's going to be just about, it's about to enter into Albion, and it's going to be crossing over the interstate within the next 4 minutes or so. And this is a particularly dangerous situation that's moving off to the north and east. Here's that latest radar scan. So there you go. I'm going to zoom in here. So the tornado itself right now located over the N and X road. It's going toward Albion. It's going to be over about Albion in here in like 30 seconds or less. Here's that correlation coefficient drop. That is the debris that we're talking about. That is the strong and large tornado that's about to move into Albion, Wisconsin. It's going to be going toward the Busseyville, Hillside, and Glen Oaks beach area, in addition to the Edgerton Beach Park. If you know anybody in these areas, or if you are in this area in particular, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this is a strong tornado. Do not mess around with this. Don't try to videotape it. There's no reason to. It's so hard to see, beginning with it being night and also there being a lot of rain around this. It's almost impossible to see. So do not try to do that. Get to your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this right here, just northwest of Edgerton, is a strong and large tornado in progress, moving toward the Albion area. This is not far from Edgerton. It's going to be going through Busseyville. Long-term tracks are not really even long-term, but just short-term in general in the next 10 minutes or so. Fort Atkinson, in addition to Jefferson, are both on the track of this in southern Wisconsin. This is north of Janesville. Again, this is a large and strong tornado that's in progress. Let's go back to the velocities here. Again, this right here is your tornado. It's at this given time right now. This is a couple minutes behind, but it's going to be over Albion right now. And if you're in Oakland, Fort Atkinson, you need to get to your safe place like now. And then Jefferson, you got like a minute or two if you have any emergencies, but you should be getting there immediately. This is, again, a dangerous tornado. It's strong and large, moving to the north and east. That's a good question. The speed right now in this storm is estimated at 45 miles per hour. After the next radar scan, I'll put a track on this so you know where we are exactly going with, like, where the storm is exactly going. We have reportedly huge damage from this tornado. Yeah, there's some serious damage right now from this tornado back near Fulton, just west of there. This is Vince Walty. Again, I cannot show his stream, but he is currently going through a lot of the damaged areas right now. There is a ton of damage, so do not, again, mess around with this tornado warning. Get to your safe place immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is a rain-wrapped tornado, so it makes it even more dangerous than it already is. again, my heart goes out to everybody in this track of this. This is a seriously dangerous situation. Not something you would expect in the month of February, by any means. Again, we're in early February. This just doesn't happen. It's unbelievable. But again, this is a strong, potentially even violent tornado that's moving to the east-northeast. Again, we're getting radar scans, unfortunately, like every 5 minutes, but the tornado itself is crossed over I-3990. Hopefully, people heard the word and stayed away from this area, but unfortunately, it's just such short notice that there's probably people traveling along this road that just got caught by surprise. It's going to be moving toward Fort Atkinson and eventually toward Jefferson and Oakland. If you're in any of those three locations, you need to treat this very seriously and get to your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. Interior room of your home or building. As we speak, it's crossing over I-90 or I-3990. So as we speak, it is crossing over that area. Here's a this is slightly higher up in the atmosphere, but you can see it. This is that's it right there as of a minute ago. That rotation crossing right over the interstate. So that right there is the tornado. It's crossing over I-3990 in southern Wisconsin, and it's going to be going through Busseyville, Glen Oaks Beach, and Egerton Beach Park over the next few minutes. Let's check out the correlation coefficient. Hasn't updated. This is the reflectivity. Fortunately, these are a little bit behind. Again, the tornado is going to be over Albion right now. And again, this is a large and strong tornado. From what I've heard, again, I can't confirm this, but from what I've heard already is that this is a wedge tornado that's moving to the east-northeast. It's, again, strong. It's picking up a lot of debris. Again, this gives you a good idea about 5 minutes ago of how much debris it was picking up. That's pretty, hefty. Yeah, it's a strong tornado. That dark blue is never a good sign on the correlation coefficient. And there you go. The tornado is right now over I-3990. Unbelievable. That right there is a dangerous, again, large tornado that is actively crossing over Albion. That's a lot of debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. This is just such a bad situation. This is the reflectivity. Notice that there's a lot of rain around this, which means, again, unless you are at a very exact angle, you're not going to be able to see it. So do not try to go looking for this tornado. Again, treat this very seriously. Fort Atkinson is a very populated area here in southern Wisconsin. Unfortunately, this is going right into that area. Yeah, this is an extremely dangerous situation. Particularly dangerous situation. Both the same thing. Again, I can't stress it enough. Get to your safe place, away from windows, the lowest floor possible. If you are in this tornado warning, it's going to be moving into Fort Atkinson in about 5 minutes. Jefferson and Oakland and Johnson Creek are going to be next in path of this. I'm hearing about, again, I'm just hearing some of these things right now over on Twitter and other places that there is some significant damage being reported along I-39 and 90. This is just as of, again, this just crossed over moments ago. Again, prayers to anybody in this area. This is such a bad situation. And that's the debris as of 6:03 p.m. That's 2 minutes ago. Significant amount of debris being lifted up into the atmosphere here in southern Wisconsin. This is north of Janesville and south of Madison. Will there be a tornado emergency? If this keeps going, it could, but we'll see. Yeah, Albion, Wisconsin just took a direct hit from this tornado. Again, that is what we're looking at here as of, again, a few minutes ago. The tornado itself is going to be over rural parts here of Glen Oaks and Busseyville, and it's going to be moving toward Fort Atkinson. Fort Atkinson, you need to be in your safe place immediately. That is going to be moving into your neighborhood here within the next 5 to 6 minutes, as long as it does stay on the ground. Janesville, you're not in this tornado warning. Again, if you're down there, it's a hail concern on that storm that's south of you, and this storm that is producing the strong tornado is not going toward you. I do recommend, by the way, if you're out in front of the storm, make sure you are charging your devices. Have flashlights on hand in case you do lose power. There have been a lot of power outage reports over the last several minutes in this region of southern Wisconsin. That's your tornado again right there. This is very rain wrapped, by the way. You can just see it here. It is very rain wrapped. We got rain all around this thing. All around it. A bit more like there. Again, right here's your tornado. That's all debris being lifted up into the atmosphere, and that's going to be going toward Fort Atkinson and Jefferson. If this, for whatever reason, stays on the ground for even longer than this tornado warning, which the hope is it goes away very soon, because this is, again, just unprecedented for February. This is the second ever tornado in history in February. We had the first one like 20 minutes ago in Wisconsin. Long-term track, though, it's going to be going toward the radar site. That's bad news if this hits the radar site. In addition to that, there are some rural areas in here out in front of this storm, but areas like the Waukesha area back through Milwaukee need to be on alert, because it's going to be making pretty much a beeline that way. Now, I'm not saying this will still be on the ground by then. I hope it isn't, and I don't think it will, but we will have to watch for that as it continues to move in that direction, because it could go. The storm itself will go there. It's just a matter of, will there be a tornado on the ground there? That's a bit of a question mark. And by the way, the live stream at the bottom is not correct. It is not snowing right now. My bad. Again, this is a very unprecedented event that's happening right now. That, again, is your tornado on the ground that's moving to the east. And stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible if you're included in this warning. Yeah, it's a friendly reminder as well, even if this is not even a tornado, there's going to be a lot of hail with these storms. I've seen a lot of people reporting hail down in Illinois, for example. This is a pretty primed environment for hail, and a lot of it falling is very well in the playing cards here. So if you're anywhere in the southern parts of Wisconsin here, back into Illinois, protect your vehicle, protect your plants, all that sort of stuff. Put your car to your garage, because, again, this storm in particular is producing a lot of hail as well. New radar scan should be coming in here in a minute. Multiple homes destroyed, roofs missing, power lines down. That's what I've heard so far. Again, with any strong tornado, that's just kind of expected, unfortunately. New radar scan hopefully coming in here in a moment. And the tornado itself is going to be located back up just on the west side of Fort Atkinson. It should be right about here near 106. They'll be going into Fort Atkinson in a few minutes. And even if you are not currently near this tornado like Fort Atkinson and Jefferson, you need to be in your safe place, because this is very close. Debris can get flown away for miles out. So if you're in Fort Atkinson or Jefferson, you need to be in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Do not mess around with this. New radar scan will hopefully be in here in a second. There you go. See what the velocities look like. This is what the storm looks like now. Again, this is moving to the east. The tornado itself is going to be located just off to the east of Bayonne. This is where the tornado is now. It's over near Busseyville. And Fort Atkinson currently about 6 miles away from it, the downtown area. This is closing in pretty quickly. Tornado is still on the ground. It's right there. That is the debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. It's going to be going through North Shore, the Black Hawk Island area, Fort Atkinson, and Route 26 in the track of this here in the next few minutes. If you have any friends or family, by the way, in the track of this storm, feel free to share this with them. Again, we'll be live through this entire storm and also any others that come your way, because again, this is just crazy. I mean, again, this is going to be going toward Jefferson and Fort Atkinson. This is, again, if you're just tuning in, a large and strong tornado that's been confirmed. It's reportedly been a wedge tornado. Since it is like pitch black outside, it is, hard to tell in a sense that, it's still on the ground in that, way, but the lightning can definitely help. There's a lot of lightning with this storm too, which can help the visibility for storm chasers. But even then, I mean, if you look at the storm, it's rain wrapped. The tornado is in the dead center pretty much of this huge area of rain, which makes it very difficult to see this, which is why I can't stress it enough. If you're in this tornado warning, don't try to go look outside. It's not worth it. This is pretty much traveling right along 106, by the way. And this just crossed over the Albion area along Interstate 39 and 90 moments ago. So hopefully everybody that was on that roadway, again, got off the road or, stayed out of the way of this storm. But unfortunately, again, very short notice for some of those people that were traveling along this road. If it is blurry, refresh. Todd, I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of hard to multitask. I'm going to see if we have any other reports here. And tornado is still actively on the ground. The area of rotation has definitely weakened a little bit, but it is still on the ground. This is not lifted by any means. I know some people are saying, this is weakening. It is weakening, but it's still 100% on the ground as we speak. And again, it's moving to the east toward Fort Atkinson, and it very easily could still be on the ground by then, excuse me. By the way, here's the debris track here. See it grow right there. It's basically going, it's gonna essentially go toward Fort Atkinson, but keep in mind, tornadoes do change direction. So Fort Atkinson and Jefferson, you still need to be in your safe place, again, away from windows, lowest floor possible, but it's basically beelining it here, right through the Fort Atkinson area. We have confirmed damage as of 6 o'clock, 5 miles to the east of Evansville in Rock County. Reports of roof damage and large trees snapped. That would be from this tornado, by the way. Here's the latest radar scan. That's the tornado right there. So again, moving to the east. Let's go to the velocities here. There you go. And that's the tornado right now. I'm hoping the correlation coefficient updates here in a second. And I'll be going toward Fort Atkinson and Jefferson. The tornado itself is definitely spinning out, but it is still on the ground for the time being. That is the tornado. That's the debris as a few minutes ago. This is about to be entering into Fort Atkinson in about a minute or two. So if you're in Fort Atkinson, again, this is your last chance. Get to your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this is still, as of now, a large and strong tornado. It has had some weakening trends over the last about 5 minutes or so, but it is definitely still on the ground. We have still a clear correlation coefficient drop of debris. Actually see it here in the higher tilts as well. This debris is being lifted up quite a bit, by the way. This is, I mean, again, this is a strong tornado. It's being lifted up quite a bit. Yeah, this right here is where the tornado is. It's about to be moving into Fort Atkinson here momentarily. This is still on the ground. Vince just confirmed roofs off houses. Yep, that's, again, unfortunately, that's not surprising with this storm. It's surprising for February, but obviously, this particular storm just went haywire. So, roofs are being reported that have been ripped off with this storm. This is the latest radar scan. This is as of 6:15. If we still have a tornado on the ground, it's going to be right here. It appears it is. It's just west of Fort Atkinson. So again, this is just on the west side of Fort Atkinson. If you are in Fort Atkinson, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Yeah, this is still on the ground right now. This is, again, just west of Fort Atkinson. And if this does end up weakening out, which is entirely possible, it has a very high likelihood that this could recycle. I mean, this storm in particular is just, it's very rampant. Let's go to... turn this off, but you can see it here. I mean, that right there would be your tornado. It's kind of weakening out. It's in a weird position on the storm. And Fort Atkinson and Jefferson, stay in your safe place. Specifically Fort Atkinson, you are in the track of this right now. The tornado itself is going to be on the west side near State Highway 106. Wilson Avenue. It's about to be going over that area. 26. Janesville Avenue. Up near Fort Atkinson. This is over Mud Lake right now. There is not any tornado watches, just for reference, if you're wondering. But you should be on the lookout, obviously, for, you know, tornado warnings. It's entirely possible still. This warning has been downgraded to still on the ground, but it's no longer a PDS, quote-unquote. And particularly dangerous situation means a large and strong tornado. It is still an active tornado, but those two characteristics probably have kind of fizzled out here. Again, that tornado would be located right here on the west side of Fort Atkinson. This is all moving to the east-northeast at about 50 miles per hour. All right, here's the latest radar scan. Let's go back to the velocities, and we'll see how those correspond with this tornado that's been on the ground here for... oh, you know how long now? How long has it been on the ground? Anybody know? About 15 minutes? I think it started... actually, it's been about 20 minutes. This started at about 5:57 or so. So it's been about 20 minutes that this tornado has been on the ground. That is what you call a long-tracked tornado. Looks like that this tornado is beginning to spin out here. But we have some redevelopment here on the south side. But the tornado itself, if it is still on the ground, it's going to be in here. But it looks like that is beginning to spin out. Essentially means it's weakening. We have another redevelopment perhaps developing, though, just south of Fort Atkinson. So we'll have to watch this area. What I'm talking about is right in here. This hook area. We'll have to watch this closely. Near the Black Hawk Island area. But the tornado itself looks like it's been weakening out right in here. Again, stay in your safe place. This is no reason to get out of your safe place, by the way. I'm just saying the tornado itself there was definitely shrinking. It has been definitely shrinking over the last 5 minutes or so. And by the way, this is the second confirmed tornado in history in February in Wisconsin. But this in particular was... the second one. The first one was like literally 30 minutes ago. Traffic has really picked up, by the way, on I-39 and 90, mainly due to the fact the tornado crossed right over. Presumably there's damage in the area from vehicles or whatever might have been in that area, and trees. I'm guessing there are trees along that route. Yeah, if you're in this tornado warning, stay in your safe place. Fort Atkinson, the tornado, if it is still on the ground, is over top of you. Then Jefferson, you should still stay in your safe place. Helenville and Hebron, you need to stay very alert here. And then back over to the east near Milwaukee. Again, this is a long-term storm to be watching for. It won't arrive to Milwaukee probably for about an hour or so. Yeah, it's about an hour out. So if you're in Milwaukee, stay mindful. But I do think the storms will weaken a bit as they get closer there. By the way, this is what we're looking at back down near Chicago. None of these storms currently severe. But we'll still keep a close eye on them in case they do go tornadic. Main concern right now is this storm up here in Wisconsin. And by the way, we got a huge hail core going right now. There's a lot of hail associated with this thunderstorm. Can't stress it enough. If you're out in front of this, make sure you are protecting your vehicle. Hail damage will become a very real reality as this continues to move east. Yeah, there's rotation on the south side of this now. It's recycling. It's right in here. I do think if we begin to see that rotation ramp up, we'll have another tornado warning. That would be the area to watch for. Yeah, if you are in Fort Atkinson, stay in your safe place as this storm does continue to pass over. Hail is whipping. Yes, there's a lot of hail. For those that are wondering what intensity this tornado was, we have no clue. We just don't. The Storm Prediction Center will, or the National Weather Service, excuse me, locally, will do a storm survey tomorrow. It might take a couple of days in this particular case because this is a stronger tornado. It's not just like a weak, brief tornado that, you know, requires a very little area to survey. This is going to be, this was on the ground for about 10 miles or so, which means that we definitely had, you know, some damage. By the way, this is a video from a traffic cam in the area. This is the intensity of this tornado as it crossed over I-39. Oh, my bad. Again, we don't have snow on the ground. I'm going to turn that off. But this is as the tornado crossed over I-39-90. See how high the winds were? All these cars are driving in this, and it's just unbelievable. I mean, all the cars start slowing down here at the end because they see the tornado or there's damage ahead. But the wind was absolutely whipping here. Unbelievable. That was about 20 minutes ago from now, but that was when it crossed over I-39-90. For the time being, right now over Fort Atkinson, we have some hail falling, pretty good amount of hail right now over Fort Atkinson. Again, this storm moving to the east. New severe thunderstorm warning for the Waukesha area back near Milwaukee. That is for quarter-sized hail. Again, what we're going to have to watch for over the next several minutes will be if there's any redevelopment of this tornado back near Fort Atkinson as this continues to move to the east. There's a lot of branches down, by the way, and a car flipped in Magnolia, Illinois. That's from the tornado from earlier that we first went live for. That was a confirmed tornado, and there's a car that was flipped over from that tornado. Doesn't seem to be huge damage by any means. Looks to be a lot of minor damage, like branches, and the car being flipped over is, it looks actually like a truck, but a truck got flipped over. The wind, you know, can get underneath a truck, and it definitely can be concerning. Because those get flipped pretty easily, those trucks. You know, we are watching this next little area development back down near Fort Atkinson to see if anything does recycle out of this. Not really much rotation right now, but we'll be watching that area in particular. You have a new tornado warning for those in Jefferson, Wisconsin, Helenville, Wisconsin, Hebron, Wisconsin, Rome, Wisconsin, back along and south of Interstate 94, east of Johnson Creek. New tornado warning for these areas. Make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows on the lowest floor possible if you are included in this tornado warning. We have a bit of a wind bag developing back up near Johnson Creek as well. That could be some damaging winds around 60 to 65 miles per hour. Again, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is radar indicated rotation. This is not confirmed, so we'll be downgraded to radar indicated. Again, it might surprise a lot of you, but this is a live stream. This is not from the spring or summer. I know it's crazy to think, but yes, there have been Now, 2 confirmed tornadoes to this point today in both Wisconsin and Illinois in the month of February. Just unbelievable to think. This is, by the way, again, if you haven't already heard, this is now the, these tornado warnings are the first ever that we've seen in Wisconsin in February. So this is, again, making history today with this particular event. Specific locations included in this new tornado warning do include Hebron, Rome, Sullivan, Helenville, Farmington, Jefferson, Fort Atkinson, and Cold Spring. Those are all the locations in this tornado warning. Population of about 32,000. I do think Fort Atkinson in the downtown area dodged a bullet because that tornado lifted literally right before it went into Fort Atkinson, which is obviously very good that it lifted beforehand. This is definitely, I mean, it's not predominantly wind, but there is definitely a lot of wind with these storms. It's not going to turn into, I mean, like a huge widespread damaging wind event, but a lot of hail, by the way, being reported near Chicago, the suburbs. And just an update on the Chicago storms, none of them are rotating. For the most part. There's a very weak area of rotation just south of Orland Park. So I will monitor that, but it's very weak and it's very small. So if there were a tornado, it would be, you know, on the weaker side of things. So for those that are back down near the Chicago suburbs, I'm actually going to really quickly go down there. Just for perspective, the storm that's right here just south of Orland Park, a little bit of rotation there near Interstate 80. We will watch it closely if anything does develop out of it. Again, that's going to be on the south side there of the Chicago suburbs. And again, this tornado will be going toward Interstate 94. These storms will be going toward Milwaukee. If you know any friends or family near the Milwaukee area, make sure you give them a call or text. This will be moving in that direction. There is a chance that we see some pretty large hail as it moves into those areas as well. So if you're over in the Milwaukee area, definitely going to be something to watch for. This is back down to radar indicated rotation. Yeah, feel free. If you guys have any photos or videos on Twitter that you see, you can feel free to @ me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. If you have any photos or videos, feel free to tweet me at MaxVelocityWX. Again, the PDS tornado warning has been lifted. The tornado warning that has been observed is about to expire. That'll expire in 43 seconds. Live south of Milwaukee. I think south of Milwaukee probably won't get, you won't get directly hit by these storms, but the other cluster back here, it's definitely in play. Now we do have a little area of storms actually moving toward you to your southwest. Those are producing quarter-size hail. By the way, I do appreciate everybody with the pronunciation corrections. There's been a lot of them. I'm well aware. Wisconsin has a lot of crazy names, but I do appreciate it. I do not take offense to it. There's a lot of hard names in this state, so. And by the way, thank you to anybody that super chatted over the last few minutes. I appreciate it. I'll get to them after all the tornado warnings are done. I really do appreciate your support. There is currently no tornado warning for Jefferson County. Or this is Jefferson County, never mind. I thought Jefferson was Milwaukee. This is included for a very small chunk of Jefferson County. Hey, let me check this. Isn't Jefferson County over to the east? Or is this Jefferson? We have a report of a funnel cloud with this storm, by the way, near Helenville. So again, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. All right, this is Jefferson County. Okay, never mind. What's Milwaukee? What county is that? I need to figure that out. All right, so again, tornado warning still ongoing for Helenville, Sullivan. Heath Mills, Rome, Slabtown, and Concord. Funnel cloud has been reported with this storm, and this is the area that we're looking at right there. It's just west of Rome, southeast of Jefferson. There's Jefferson. So just southeast of Jefferson. Rotation's going to be located there. We have a funnel cloud that has been reported with this. This could drop another tornado. Again, stay away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're in this tornado warning. This has the chance to produce another tornado. And then right up in here is where we have a very large hail core developing back up near Johnson Creek. That's right along Interstate 94. If you're traveling along east and west of Interstate 94, that's going to be a lot of hail falling. I would try to avoid the area. Unfortunately, the weather radar, unless this, hopefully the tornado doesn't drop, but if it does, the radar site here is definitely in jeopardy, because this is going almost a beeline direction toward the radar site. So hopefully it does not drop. Yeah, we have a lot of hail right now falling just around the Farmington area, east of Johnson Creek. That's a huge hail core right there. And that would be where your funnel cloud is located. They didn't give a specific location on the funnel cloud, but I'm guessing it's that. And the main locations included in this tornado warning are Farmington, Concord, Sullivan, Rome, and Helenville. I am checking to see if we have any other reports on this storm, aside from the funnel cloud. Not seeing anything new right now. What do you do if the radar site gets hit? We have a radar site back here. This is in range. It has some limitations, but it is in range of the storms. It has limitations mainly from the fact that it doesn't have any sort of like it doesn't have like the correlation coefficient, for example. All right, here's the latest radar scan. Again, if we have a tornado ongoing, it's going to be located in this hook down here. This, again, a report that we had a funnel cloud a few minutes ago. There's a lot of hail falling back up here to the north near Interstate 94. That'll be going towards Summit, and that'll eventually travel in the direction there of Milwaukee. The hail core itself is going more east-northeast. The tornadic area is going to be moving directly to the east. Pewaukee and Waukesha will be in the track of this as well. Again, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel down below. We'll be keeping you posted with the latest as these storms continue to move to the east, or the Milwaukee area. Here's a zoomed out look, regional view of where Milwaukee is comparatively to the storm that is tornadic. And severe storm is southwest of Milwaukee. That one is producing quarter-sized hail. I am not expecting this to be tornadic. Good news. Back over near Milton, and Janesville, another severe storm. That one also I am not expecting to be tornadic, but I'd still watch it closely just in case. And then the storm back over here again would be the area. Thanks, Lenovo. I'd definitely expect again the storm over here near Helenville to have the highest likelihood over the next 30 minutes of producing a tornado. Waukesha, thank you. Bunch of hail just hit the Joliet area. Yeah, the Chicago suburbs are seeing a ton of hail right now. I don't think any of it's severe, but there is a lot of hail falling down there. And good news is that none of these are currently tornadic. We have some very minimal rotation near Tilney Park. But aside from that, it's pretty much all hail and some gusty winds. And surprisingly, honestly, I was expecting Illinois to get the brunt of the severe weather. Southern Wisconsin has gotten it way worse thus far. All right, let's go back to the velocities in a sec. All right, the radar's not updated. We'll wait another minute. Once the radar updates, we'll check it out. Tinlet Park, thank you. Let me put a timing guide on the storm. 40 miles per hour. 42. Here's the track of this storm, and in terms of timing, the timing is primarily for those in the direct path of the tornado potential. So Helenville in a couple minutes, Rome 5 minutes, we got Waterville in about 20 minutes from now, Wales in 24 minutes, and we got Genesee in 25 minutes, Buena Vista in a little less than half an hour, Heartland in 28 minutes, the Waukesha area in 33 minutes. Again, these are ETAs, give or take like 10 minutes. Oh, here's the timing. There we go. Milwaukee will be at approximately 45 minutes or so, 45, 50 minutes. So if you're in Milwaukee, you still got about 45 minutes until the storm is over top of you. But obviously, you should be taking the proper precautions sooner rather than later. And protect your vehicle. Anybody that's in the Menominee Falls, Mequon, Saukville, Milwaukee, Waukesha, make sure that you are protecting your vehicles, because again, all those areas do have the chance to see some large hail out of these storms. And I know I butchered probably multiple of those names. We'll go with it. Radars update variously depending on the radar site and how often they want it to update. This one updates right now every 4 minutes or so. Some of them update every 1 to 2 minutes. Some update every 10 minutes. Just depends on what day it is, what's happening, and if there's any significant weather. Love your pronunciations. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the rotation here. Not seeing any really pockets of rotation here, but we do have some wind right there. That's at least some damaging winds near Sullivan. Not seeing any definitive areas right now of rotation with the storm, which is good news. Hopefully it doesn't produce anything, but it's like right next to the radar site. But on radar, I have yet to really see much with this storm. There have been reports of funnel clouds about 5 to 7 minutes ago. So we'll wait and see if any of that actually materializes. That's why you should definitely just stay in your safe place. I dodged the interstate. I knew I saw something. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get that feeling whenever you're, traveling and you see some very ominous skies or whatever it might be. I'm glad you made the right decision. I mean, yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, if you're ever driving on the interstate, and I mean, I'm surprised you even thought of it in February, unless you've been watching, the news and hearing about the severe weather threat. Again, this is just so unprecedented. I mentioned it several times. The fact that we have had a PDS tornado in the month of like early February, this isn't even the end of February. This is very early February. We're in the heart of winter right now. The fact that we've had a PDS tornado here is just mind-boggling. So, just crazy stuff. PDS means particularly dangerous situation. That basically means a strong tornado. We don't have one right now. Oh, let me change the title. I forgot to do that. Yeah, PDS also means pretty darn scary. I mean, that's pretty much what it is, either way you put it. Very large lightning flashes to the west near Waukesha. Thank you for the report. And this will be the area that we're watching for a tornadic development of some sort. That's going to be going over Sullivan here shortly, going towards Summit and the Dousman area. And stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible if you are in this tornado warning as it continues to move to the east. Again, if you have any photos or videos, you can feel free to send those in to us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Thanks, Kayla. Yes, we had a PDS tornado about 40 minutes ago. Tucker, I don't know what you mean. Waukesha? Is that what it is? I keep seeing different pronunciations. I saw Waukesha. Yeah, we do have a hook developing on this. It's been developing for a while. Really nothing on the velocities that is clearly giving us any sort of like indication of rotation on this particular storm. New severe thunderstorm warning for Fort Atkinson, Whitewater, and Hebron. That is for quarter-sized hail. That is the storm behind these other storms that are off to the north that are still tornado warned. Waukesha, thank you. I'm gonna go with Waukesha. That seems like the majority of what people are saying now. You know what's even crazier, and I mentioned this a few times earlier, but we have had 2 tornadoes in Wisconsin in the month of February to begin with. That's just crazy. Both of them happened today. That's in history. And while these tornadoes were happening up here, there was still snow on the ground. So, yeah, crazy stuff. Hopefully I find a photo of that happening with the snow. Having snow on the ground at the same time as a tornado is just unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Tornado warning has now been canceled for those here in southeastern parts of Wisconsin. With that being said, this storm could still recycle. It does have a hook. We'll be watching it closely because it will be going toward Milwaukee, and as well as areas in like Waukesha, for example. Fort Atkinson, we're still watching as well. But this will be going that direction as well. I am retweeting a video on Twitter. Again, we have multiple videos on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX of the storms that have dropped tornadoes. There are multiple tornado videos on our Twitter page. Friendly reminder, by the way, this live stream today is brought to you by Radar Omega. You can download it with the top link in the description below. That's what we've been using throughout this entire live stream. You can get this weather app on your iOS and Android device. Again, it is $8.99, but it's very worth it. You get computer models, satellite imagery, customize the watches and warnings. You can basically customize everything on here. Again, you can check it out. Top link in the description below. It is entirely worth it, and it is, in my opinion, the best weather app on the market. It's an all-in-one weather app with weather, computer models, satellite imagery, and much more. Again, check it out. Top link in the description below on iOS and Android. And I appreciate them sponsoring today's live stream. All right, while we have a quick break, I do want to quickly thank the people who have super chatted. Thank you, Legacy, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Jasper, for the $9.99. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Steven, for the $5. And thank you, Carl, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you. All right. We still got multiple severe storms going toward Milwaukee, and all these are capable of large hail, up to $half-dollar sized hail. and also the potential for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. The majority of these storms are not producing damaging winds, but there are a couple of them that might be near, like Fort Atkinson, for example, that has the really best chance right now of producing that. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. If you've been finding this stream informative, make sure to like the stream. This helps out the page a lot. You have some wind picking up back over near Fort Atkinson. If you're near Fort Atkinson, damaging winds possible moving toward that area, in addition to some large hail. Right now, the warning is for 50-mile-per-hour winds, but the winds are picking up a little bit in the center of that storm, moving to the east-northeast. We have another damage report out of Rockdale at 6:20 p.m. So this is when the tornado was about to lift. This is about large trees. So large tree, 1 to 2 feet in diameter, is down at an intersection of Loga Road and State Highway, 106. Good abbreviations. The time was estimated by radar. So that's the latest there with the damage. And again, we've had a lot of damage reports coming in. Obviously, more to come over the next few hours after that particularly dangerous situation. And no tornado warnings for the Chicago suburbs, which is honestly an area that I expected one, just due to the fact that their luck has been pretty bad from 2023. I thought there might be one up here, but we haven't had one. We do have a strong storm back west of the Joliet area, moving toward Bolingbrook and Orland Park. Thank you, Guy, by the way, for the generous $9.99. I appreciate your generosity with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you. Yeah, this is all being caused by a low pressure system off to the west. And I'm going to see if I can pull it up with the satellite imagery. I haven't done the satellite in a while. It's right here. But it's all due to this low pressure system back out here to the west. This is your low. It's back up here. And so we had all this moisture coming out of the Pacific Ocean, and as well as some of it in the Gulf of Mexico. And all of that moisture went surging to the north and east, and we had enough moisture today and instability for there to be severe weather, which instability is essentially putting gasoline into a vehicle. It's what fuels severe thunderstorms. So we had enough instability here today, and this is something we've been talking about since like Tuesday. We were talking about the potential for thunderstorms. I honestly didn't think we'd get severe weather, mainly due to the fact I didn't think there'd be enough moisture. Up until about last night is when I started to look and see that there was a lot of moisture, more moisture than forecasted like 2 days ago. So a lot more moisture today than expected, and that's led to these severe storms, and we still got severe weather out there. This severe weather threat won't be done until probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock for those in Wisconsin. It's mostly winding down in the Chicago area, maybe an isolated severe storm through 8. That'd be like the main concern at this point. All right, I'm going to real quickly take a bathroom break, since we're in between warnings at least. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Stay tuned. While I take a quick break, I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder to hit that red button down below and subscribe. That way you never miss an accurate and honest forecast from Max Velocity. Also, make sure to hit that bell icon and click all so you receive all notifications when I go live or I have a video forecast for you. Also, hit the like button down below as well. Helps our page out a lot. And if you're feeling generous and you want to support our page above and beyond, you can become a member for as little as $2.99 per month. All you need to do is click that little join button and you can select from 4 different tiers, which will give you different benefits from bloopers access to exclusive forecasts. You will also get a shout out here on our live stream. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. All right. Let me check chat here real quick. Oh, I didn't know that, Maggie. That's interesting. Thank you, by the way, for everybody subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jenny, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that. Welcome to the velocities. Well, we got a video of there being snow on the ground. This is from Aaron Curley on Twitter. This is the, you can see the snow on the ground here. This up here, this is all snow. Let me get a better color here. This is all snow. Again, while there are severe storms, there's literally snow on the ground. There's also some small hail.
Tornado. Snow on the ground. Still snow on the ground.
Still snow on the ground, yes. Anyway, there's all the lightning as well. Yeah, crazy stuff. Thank you, Aaron, for sending that in. It's crazy to think that we had tornadoes with snow. It's just so weird. We've had snow-nados before, but that's not like where we have an actual tornado. It's a different weather phenomenon. We have a hail core developing back near Plainfield. This will be going toward Chicago. If you're in Chicago, be mindful of that. This is a hailstorm that's developing right now. Trying to develop, at least. And the other storms are now moving into the Great Lakes. The storms back up here in Wisconsin, a little bit behind on schedule, but they are still ongoing. None of these really rotating anymore, but we do still have an ongoing hail threat, quarter-sized hail with the majority of these storms still ongoing. And then right back in here, northeast of Fort Atkinson, west of Milwaukee, we do have still a little bit of a hook here, but there hasn't been much rotation with this as of recently. We'll still keep a close eye on it in case it does end up dropping something here down the road. I do think the one that was a PDS tornado will be rated over an EF1, but again, we won't really officially know until either tomorrow or Saturday. Snow was melting all week. Yeah, it's been pretty warm there for a while. Welcome to Midwest weather. This is the first time, though, that tornado warnings and tornadoes have ever happened in the month of February for Wisconsin. Now, I don't know if it's a thing where we've had tornadoes, like, in general in winter in Wisconsin, but just crazy stuff. How's it going, Miss K? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm guessing you saw the PDS tornado. Like, cow, what is going on up here? Is this is a serious hail core right here, near the Owakachi Lake, near Stone Bank. The correlation coefficient, I don't think is picking up on it really much, but there is potentially a lot of hail falling right now, right along Route 16. That's a pretty serious hail core there. Yes, there are no, oh, my bad. There's no tornado warnings ongoing right now. Forgot to update the warning counter. Yeah, this is about 69 dBz, maybe 70. We got 71 in here. 72. There you go. It's the highest number so far. 73, okay. Let's get a 74. 74. Can we get a 74? No, we cannot. Like, the price is right. 70 to 74. 73 is the highest, though. This is definitely a hailstorm moving toward Heartland. Just off to the north there of Interstate 94. Now we'll be going in the direction of the Menominee Falls and the Mequon area. Yes, this was the first time ever we've had tornado warnings in the month of February. Again, crazy. By the way, if you have any photos or videos, you can tweet me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. And we have retweeted a lot of the tornado videos on there as well. Also, the latest from the Storm Prediction Center is that there is still a marginal threat of severe weather for the Chicago suburbs back into southeast Wisconsin for the next couple of hours at least. Tornado threat, I wouldn't say is done yet. Again, hold your horses a little bit here because there could still be an isolated tornado. Particularly, the one storm that I would be looking at would be this one over here, just north of Interstate 94. Not really rotating right now, but there's a chance it gets going. We'll see. It is definitely more of a hailstorm, but has a chance. We'll see. Still the threat is definitely lower than earlier, but by the way, just a heads up, we don't have any tornado warnings right now. I just want to throw this out there. If you have any plans to buy our limited edition release of our 100K hat, this is our 100K subscriber hat. We just hit 100,000 subscribers a few days ago. If you want to pick up this hat, it's only out until Monday. It's a limited edition release. You can check it out on shopmaxvelocity.net. We also have our flying trampoline collection, which is not going anywhere anytime soon. But the 100,000 subscriber hats, those are limited release. Those are only until Monday. So again, the link to that is in the chat. There's also a link in the description below. Just a heads up for those that had any plans to purchase it. It's Thursday right now, so it'll only be here until Monday. And thank you for those that have already bought the hat. I really appreciate the support. I have one coming in the mail, so it's gonna be, I'll have it probably in the background or something. Janesville is all right. Janesville's kind of out of the way of these storms now, and you're pretty much done. You got a passing shower, but that's about it. Did you say a flying trampoline? Yes, the trampoline scale. Let's pull that up. So, I mean, today in particular, with what we've seen already, I mean, at this point, realistically, we are definitely at a low risk of flying trampolines. But I mean, if we're talking a couple hours ago, we were definitely at least at a medium risk across southern Wisconsin. But it's pretty low risk for tonight. So this would be the category. Flying trampolines. Your pronunciations are hilarious. Thank you. I appreciate it. They're definitely not intentionally hilarious. I just can't pronounce anything in Wisconsin, apparently. No, I mean, I didn't want to get 100,000 subscribers when we had tornado warnings. Luckily, we kind of hit it at a time where it was a bit of a lull in the tornadic action. But we are officially verified here on YouTube, and we should be getting a play button here pretty soon. Waiting for official verification when it comes to the play button, but we should be getting a YouTube play button here relatively soon. So, exciting news. For sure. Have I tried Googling pronunciations? I really can't when we're in the middle of tornado warnings. There's a lot of stuff happening. Whatever I say, we're going to go with it. That's pretty much how it works with tornado warnings, because the difference between me mispronouncing a name, at least people knowing what it is, versus, you know, giving out important tornado information is just so critical. I mean, there's just no reason to try to Google that stuff during a tornado warning, per se. When do I get my YouTube play button? I think I'll get it soon. I'm guessing I'll probably have it by the end of the month. I don't know how long it takes for them to ship, but it will probably be the end of the month. Again, if you're just tuning in, we got two severe storms right now, one of which is actually approaching the radar site. near Rome, and then we also have another one back up near Richfield. Both of these storms, again, producing large hail up to quarter size, not rotating right now, but we will still monitor the potential for any rotation here soon. No, Tucker. I think. I don't know. I think that's going to me. I'm glad we went live tonight, though. I honestly did not expect a PDS tornado. I'll just throw that out there. I don't think anybody did, to be honest. It's just kind of uncalled for. And prayers to anybody that got hit by those storms, by the way. I mean, it was unbelievable how quickly those storms evolved, and that PDS tornado it happened so fast. There was very little time to prepare for some people in that area, the immediate path of it. But I hope all the damage was very minimal, even though we've heard roofs being ripped off of buildings and other stuff, and it's not what you want to hear. All right, we are back. Apparently my internet decided to die there for 2 seconds. Hopefully you all can hear me. That happened very randomly. Yeah, I'll have a video. I'll at least have a video when I open my play button up. I'll at least have a video. But it's not even. It hasn't even been shipped yet. I'm still waiting for the official word from YouTube, basically. I'm not in these storms. Don't worry. I'm not in these storms. I think my internet is just acting up, but it should be good now. Happy birthday, Evan. My sound keeps cutting in and out. I don't think it is. Looks fine on my end. I mean, the bitrate's high. Try to refresh this. Go. I am, excuse me, I'm pretty hungry. I haven't eaten anything. I didn't even have dinner yet. Yes, I'm good. Okay, thank you. Definitely be getting dinner at some point here soon. If you are in Mequon, I think that's how you pronounce it, back up here. You are in the path of a hailstorm, so quarter-sized hail being possible. That would be this right in here, going towards Sussex and as well as the Menominee area, and Germantown and Richfield. And then the storm behind it back near Fort Atkinson, this one is producing primarily large hail. There's maybe some gusty winds in here. They do have a tornado possible label on this, so we will be watching this closely as it moves to the east. And the rotation would be right over near Rome. All right, I mispronounced that pretty badly, didn't I? Mequon. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We were gonna try a dual live stream on TikTok, but we never got to that today. I'm hoping to do dual live streams to both YouTube and TikTok here soon, so we can have two at once. Yes, there is currently a tornado tag on this one. I don't think this one doesn't, as of right now. And this one I don't think is really rotating. Let's check. I'm not seeing any rotation on that one. I mean, I don't really see much on the storm near Rome either. But the storm near Rome has maybe a little bit of rotation. It's just not much. But you can definitely see, if we go to the reflectivity, you can definitely see that inflow right here. And that's the hook. This would be the area where we'd be watching for a tornado. Again, this storm is going to be going toward Milwaukee, so be mindful if you're near the Milwaukee area. Actually, it might go a little bit further up to the north. It's going to kind of be on it. This is like the track right here, so Milwaukee will probably at least stay on alert. The storm might just stay off to your north long term, but we'll see. We are actually going to be going into La Nina, not really too soon, but we will be going to La Nina as we head into the summer, most likely. If we don't get to it in the summer, we'll have it in the fall or winter. But we're at least going to go back to neutral during the late spring into the summer. So we will be done with El Nino, which was a pretty short stint of El Nino, for the record. No, El Nino didn't last very long. I can't remember when it started, but I think it was back in the fall, wasn't it? Or was that late summer? I think it was fall, if I'm not mistaken. It was not a very long one at all. By the way, we have a lot of videos on Twitter at Max Velocity WX of the tornadoes. If you want to check those out. And if you have any photos or videos from yourself, you can feel free to tweet me on Twitter at Max Velocity WX. You scroll across something that's weather related that you want me to see, you can also at me on Twitter at Max Velocity WX. Yes, there was a strong and large tornado on the ground at about 6 o'clock, so about an hour ago. No longer on the ground, by the way, but that was on the ground earlier. No problem, Shell. Or Shelby. Sorry, I didn't see the B. Appreciate it. Milwaukee, where storms go to die. Honestly, it usually happens that way. So, I mean, we'll see if that happens, but most of the time when these storms go through, like, the very immediate coastline, they do weaken pretty quickly. And granted, the temperatures over land, I believe, are actually warmer than the water now. Usually, that doesn't happen during this time of the year. But let me just double check here. Yeah, the water temperatures are colder than land, which makes it pretty interesting. And with that being said, you know, the wind is coming out of more of the south and southeast, so it's not really too much of a factor, but granted, these storms, as they get closer to the coast, they should weaken. They will definitely weaken over the lakes, which is a big reason why over in Michigan we're not going to see severe weather, or we probably won't, is because that these storms over the lake, they're moving into a much colder environment with the water temperatures being colder and the surface temperatures even being colder there. And so once again to Michigan, they're basically going to struggle. Other thing is the temperatures in Michigan are a little bit colder than, you know, northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Why? Because we have, again, a more southerly wind, and this is going across the lake and then into Michigan, where Michigan temperatures just aren't really comparable to, or not very comparable to, you know, like Illinois and other areas. But we do have enough warm air in, you know, southwest Michigan where there could be maybe a isolated thunderstorm that's strong, but for the most part, most of Michigan will just be rain with a few isolated thunderstorms. And a friendly reminder, we are using Radar Omega during this live stream. This is the weather app that we've been using the entire stream. It has a ton of features like the radar, computer models, satellite imagery, much more. You can customize the radar on iOS and Android for yourself. You can check this weather app out on your iOS and Android device. I highly recommend it. It's the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Additionally, there are cyclone ports and storm chasers that you can also watch on the app. So check it out, iOS and Android users. You can check it out, top link in the description below. And I do appreciate Radar Omega for sponsoring today's live stream. Let's get some hearts and claps in the chat for Radar Omega. I appreciate them sponsoring today's live stream. Yeah, we still got a couple of severe storms out there, both of which right now are in southeastern Wisconsin. The one over here that's close to Slabtown and Heath Mills is still rotating a little bit, but for the time being, it is still a severe thunderstorm. Lots of hail, by the way, moving through the radar site area. That'll be going toward Waukesha here pretty soon, or Waukesha, and eventually over back toward the Macquon area. We have a storm right now just west of you, producing some quarter-sized hail and a little bit of lightning. That'll be approaching you here pretty soon. And then back over near Milwaukee, we also have a strong storm that is moving to the north and east. Not really an imminent concern when it comes to, you know, damaging winds, but there will be a little bit of small hail. And the severe thunderstorm warning just expired near the radar site. I am guessing they're going to issue a new one here at any time. So we'll have a new warning there shortly. This is a better view of the storm, by the way. There's your hail core. It's right over Summit. This one, the radar site near the airport here updates like every minute or two. So it's much more frequent. Here's the storm back over west of the Macquon area near Germantown. That's again producing a pretty good amount of lightning, moving to the north and east. Grafton and the Saukville area will be in the track of this over the next several minutes. Yeah, we do have a little hook down there, right here. That's the area that was probably the concerning area there for, you know, rotation, perhaps a tornado. I don't think really anything's going to come out of that. The rotation's been very weak, at least via radar. We haven't really seen much. But we'll still monitor it. Hey, no problem, Melissa. No problem, Melissa. I've done, I think, about 7 or 8 different severe weather live streams in Wisconsin over the last 2 years or so. Pronunciations have not been any easier since day one. I mean, a lot of these names, you know, I'm not able to memorize every single name in here. A lot of different names, and they're all pretty hard to pronounce. And again, a friendly reminder, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. If you found this stream informative thus far, make sure to like the stream. And I appreciate, again, anybody that's super chatted. Thank you, by the way, for Nick for buying a 100,000 subscriber hat on shopmaxvelocity.net. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we have our 100,000 subscriber limited edition hats available on shopmaxvelocity.net for a limited time. Again, that's only through Monday, and they will not release ever again. That at least variation. So if you want to check it out, again, the link is in the chat. It's also in the description. And apparently we're over 101,000 subscribers as well. So we just crossed that in this live stream. How's it going, Exploration? Welcome back. No new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, on the storm that is passing now over just passed by the radar site. That one's on track to probably skim the Waukesha area. That'll continue to go east-northeast. Milwaukee has a strong storm approaching here momentarily. Small hail, maybe some gusty winds possible. No problem, Kim. Appreciate you tuning in. You're good, Kaylee. No problem. They are really good hats, by the way. The hats are not printed. They are embroidered. So they are very high quality. Every item on that store, by the way, is high quality. Even the shirts, they're very comfortable. I have a couple of the shirts. They're very comfortable. And I'm not just saying that to sell you. I'm just saying in general they are comfortable. I wouldn't have March if it wasn't quality, and I didn't have March probably until like, I don't know, 70 or 80,000 subscribers. So the Chicago suburbs are winding down for the most part. We do have, I think, a storm nearby. Yeah, we got a couple of small little downpours, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, one near Naperville and then one near Oak Lawn, but neither of these are severe. Yeah, we're done severe weather in the Chicago area. Just gonna throw that out there. I think Chicago, anywhere in Illinois, you're done. If this Naperville storm gets going somehow, I'd be shocked. It's definitely not nearly as favorable as it was like an hour ago. And overall, this environment, it's not going to be very favorable from here on out. Definitely weakening out. We officially have no warnings left on the map. We are down to 0 severe thunderstorm warnings. The storm over here near the Wales area. We actually do have a little bit of rotation here. Just a little bit. I'm going to stay live because this could produce something down the road. There is a little bit of rotation there. We'll see what this next radar scan shows. The rotation would be up here now. It's a little bit. It's not much. It's pretty weak, but it could develop into something. There's a little notch there. Thanks, Tracy. Thank you, Edge. Appreciate it. Watch how quickly the storm fizzled, by the way. I mean, it's not done, but it's weakened very quickly. This was producing potentially some pretty large hail back over north of Interstate 94 about 20 minutes ago. That storm weakened very quickly. And since we're now, going into the nighttime and temperatures are cooling, these storms should overall weaken from here on out. But that one storm just south of Interstate 94, we still need to watch that at least for the next few minutes and see if it does anything here. How's it going, Jen? I can't get my head wrapped around that PDS in February. I don't think really anybody can, for the record. Having a tornado that is a particularly dangerous situation in February, specifically in Wisconsin, is just literally, it's just unheard of. We've never had it before, so it's definitely a rarity. Oh my goodness. Michelle sent in some photos. The entire yard is still snow. I don't know where this exactly is, but look at this. This is where we saw severe weather tonight. There's still snow on the ground. It's so weird. It's really just weird. There's snow on the ground while there are tornadoes. It just doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, it does make sense, but it's just weird. It's, again, something that I don't know. I don't know the last time that I saw snow on the ground while tornadoes were happening. It's been a while. It's definitely a rare event. PDS tornadoes are issued because of, or PDS warnings are issued because of intensity and size, not necessarily population. They do sometimes have tornado emergencies if it's a larger population. Sometimes they'll upgrade it to that in that case, but it's not really population dependent. Thank you, Jane, for the generous $5 super chat. I appreciate that, Jane. Thank you for your generosity. Any tornado chances? So one thing we do need to watch for, not now, but in a few days, will be the next threat of severe weather, because we're not done. Being here in February, it's like prime severe weather season. No, not really. But we do have a slight risk of severe weather, I believe, for, I think it's Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday. I don't know if it's going to pop up on here. Well, there's a slight risk of severe weather. It's back down, I'm going to try to trace it here. It's back in here. I do not have a plan to go live right now, but there is a slight risk of severe weather down here for Sunday. Main concern is probably damaging winds, large hail, probably a couple tornadoes as well. Yeah, a few tornadoes possible, damaging wind gusts. Those are the main concerns. So that'll be for Sunday, for Suspicious Storms Sunday. And today was tossing trampolines on tall trees Thursday. I don't think we've seen any tossing trampolines yet. Strong storm. This is the latest update. We have a special weather statement for those in Milwaukee. This storm is producing the threat of some gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour and perhaps a little bit of small hail. This is not tornadic, though, at this time. It probably won't be. I do have tornado possible at the top of my screen, but I don't have another overlay to fix that, unfortunately. Oh, by the way, there is a potential for a winter storm early next week. We have a full video on this, by the way, that we did today. And the video is all about that potential for a winter storm as we go into early next week. If you want to watch that, the link will be in the chat. But I'm going to do a little quick rundown on that for those that are curious on this, because this will be something to watch for. So let's go to precipitation type. Again, this is all on the Radar Omega weather app. You can check this out. Top link in the description below. It has computer models, satellite imagery, customizable radar, cyclone ports, all that sort of stuff. You can check it out. Top link in the description below on iOS and Android. But notice as we go into Saturday, we'll have a lot of rain across the southern tier of the United States. We will be watching for snow back over in the high plains and the Rocky Mountains. Once we go into Sunday morning, we'll be watching for snow to develop across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. And eventually, as we go into late Sunday, we'll have a chance for some snow in north central Texas back through Oklahoma. And then eventually, as we go into Monday, we'll need to watch for this to move across parts of Missouri and back through southern Illinois. This area will be having to watch for the potential for some snowfall. Exactly how much snow falls and where it falls is still a little bit uncertain at this point. Once we go through Monday afternoon into the evening, snow moves across Ohio into Pennsylvania, and we'll probably be talking about a winter storm in the northeast as we go into Tuesday. I do think the snow will be further north than what the GFS model is showing. However, there could still be some changes from here on out. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted with the latest. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and we'll keep you posted as that all evolves. Thank you, JB, for ordering a limited edition Max Velocity hat. I appreciate that. I don't know the exact name because it doesn't tell me. It just gives me initials, but I do appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's the current thinking on it. I do have some snowfall estimates and as well as other stuff with that potential winter storm on our YouTube video from today. So you can check that out. Click the channel or just click the link in the chat, and that'll be there. Thank you, Open Gate. Appreciate it. Is there going to be any severe weather in Whitewater, Wisconsin this weekend? The fact that we even saw severe weather today, again, is just mind-boggling in the Midwest. The fact that I'm getting asked a question about us seeing severe weather up here this weekend, it's just so weird. Because again, we don't see severe weather up here in the Midwest like ever in February. But the answer is no. I mean, we're not expecting anything like that. There's some cold air that's going to come from the backside of this, so we'll cool down this weekend. If you want more specific details on that, check out the video linked in, or check out the video from today. Like a thunderstorm over a winter storm any day. I actually could agree with that. I definitely could agree. That rotation went to sleep. Yes, it did. I do have a... Okay, never mind. There we go. Live radar. I didn't realize I had another overlay. Sorry about that one. Yeah, we had a couple tornadoes confirmed today, but those were all earlier. Yeah, let's check out the storm one last time here. Yeah, it looks like the rotation's done for with this one. Mainly a small hail and gusty wind threat for those near the Milwaukee area for the next few hours. Overall, that severe weather threat is dwindling, though. We're definitely beginning to see a lot more of a weakening trend with these storms as that cold air starts to return as we go into nighttime, as these things all kind of dwindle down a little bit here. But that's gonna do it for today's live stream. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. I do want to give everybody a friendly reminder, though, one more time, that again, if you want to pick up a limited edition Max Velocity 100,000 subscriber hat on our store, these are only going to be here through Monday. I'll try to post reminders on videos. Again, this is only going to be out till Monday, and then they're gone, so make sure to check it out, shopmaxvelocity.net. The link will be in the chat. If you're new here to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We do live streams like this all the time. The link, by the way, to the hat is going to be in chat here in a second once I correctly copy and paste this. There you go. So if you want to check out the hat, again, the link is in the chat. I would appreciate if you pick one up. We already have multiple of them sold, so appreciate those that have already purchased one. Again, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you did something as simple as liking the stream today or subscribing, I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the new members and super chats as well. Helps the page out a ton. Thank you again for Radar Omega for sponsoring today's live stream. Again, you can check out Radar Omega. We've been using that throughout the entire live stream. If you want to get this app on your iOS and Android device, it is going to be that top link in the description below for both iOS and Android. It's $8.99, but trust me, it's a very well spent $8.99. It is the best weather app that you can get on the iOS and Android store, in my opinion. So again, check it out. Top link in the description below. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Stay safe for the rest of tonight. Hopefully, everything's okay. Again, make sure to call your friends and text them. Make sure they're okay with the, again, the couple tornadoes that we saw today. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you guys all again soon. I am going to go eat because I am starving. Have a great day. We'll see you guys all again soon.